Welcome to Eagles Kickoff Live. I am Gail Saunders, a.k.a. Eagle Sessions, here with Evan Hollywood Hearn. And, hey, it is game time, folks. It's all about that action. The Steelers, man. I mean, it's the battle for Pennsylvania. I think you have two solid coaches in Mike Tomlin and Dougie Peterson. It's going to be a battle of who's got the biggest balls in Pennsylvania, man. I mean, Doug has showed us, that aggressiveness that we liked last week. Pulled out some magic. Carson Wentz also pulled out some magic. Got back to himself. Got back to the Carson Wentz we're used to seeing. It's great to see him get a dub. Hopefully he's feeling a vibe. I feel like the locker room, after a win, they say a win sometimes kind of like heals everything. Hopefully the win has done something for the locker room recently. But first of all, we got to
wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up out of your sleep, wake up out of your sleep.
Because on the show, sometimes we roll right out of bed, right into showtime.
Here we are.
And here we are, bright-eyed, bushy-tail. Evan, man, are you feeling the vibe right now? Are you feeling the vibe?
I'm feeling the vibe. I was able to shake off the tiredness. I was staying up late. I was, really diving into this matchup last night, thinking, how can we win this game? The way that the injury reports are looking, it's the tale of two different teams right now, man. I'm thankful that the Eagles have so far been able to escape the clutches of COVID. There's another game that's been canceled. The Broncos-Patriots game has been canceled today. Be sure to adjust your fantasy lineups. And, that is something that just seems to get the frequency on that seems to be picking up a little bit. It's making me a little bit nervous. Feels like the wheels are starting to get a little bit wobbly. And, but as for the Eagles, I mean, how many opportunities do you have to be in week 5 and to be playing to go for 500? That doesn't exactly add up. That tie is throwing me all off, but I'm feeling an opportunity at 500 today, man. I keep on thinking to myself, like, we were so doom and gloom with this Eagles team, rightfully so. It's pretty, what we've seen so far, the product has been pretty rough, but we only have 2 losses. It's a 16-game season. If the Eagles can turn it around, we could still make this a good season. And the way that the rest of the league is going with COVID, with injuries, with everything, who knows what can happen, man? You could see a totally different Eagles team by the end of this season than how this season started off. So I'm feeling hopeful. I think the Eagles are moving in the right direction. I think Carson is finally starting to get his feet underneath of him, and I'm looking forward to today. How you doing?
I'm always looking forward to an Eagles game. After they got that dub, you're like, now I can watch with some inner peace at least. I feel like they last week they kind of like set the tone for some new beginnings. Hopefully that laid a foundation in the locker room. Hopefully Coach Peterson and Carson Wentz got back on the same page. I feel like the play calling it made sense, even though it was rather vanilla, but it made sense for Carson Wentz. Yeah. You're looking at Carson Wentz taking advantage of his mobility. He had three rushing touchdowns already. Mm-hmm. I think that's part of Carson's game. Like, whether you like it or not, or you think it's dangerous for him to be moving outside the pocket, he is what he is. He's got that mentality. Sometimes like when you play football, you take a couple hits and you're wide awake, you're alive. I feel like Carson Wentz, him, whether it be him blocking cornerback, just showing that aggression, or just, going head first for, we all say slide, but him going head first and it's just running for a first down. I think it's him getting back to what he does best, moving around the pocket. His QBR is highest when he's rolling out the pocket. And it's particularly best on the right side of the football field. So I think Doug just needs to stay in that lane, stay focused. And I think we'll be okay, man. For the fan base, the vibe, I think some people are feeling like the Steelers could get snuck That's how I'm feeling.
Okay.
Because they played a Broncos team.
Played the Broncos. They played the
Giants.
Texans. They played the Giants.
It's one
kind of smelly.
One win between all three of those teams. Obviously, they had the bye, but like they're feeling themselves. Number one defense, one of the top defenses in the league right now. We talk about we got no sacks in the league right now, but they have the most sacks per game with 5. Are you concerned about the defensive front of the Steelers?
I think it's hard to go into this game and not be nervous about the Steelers' defensive front. What's had me confident is each week, this as rough as it started out in week 1 with this Eagles offensive line, they seem to have found a groove. I'm seeing, I'm feeling more and more confident with Mailata the more that I see him out there. I mean, last week he did well. But Lane Johnson, the thing that worries me this week, honestly, I feel great while Lane Johnson's out there. I think Lane can hold his own, but Lane with that ankle right now, man, like it's hard not to think about. You think about all the times that he was going out the last game, he was in and out of the game, and that ankle was really bothering him. And he's going up against TJ Watt today, man. Like that is a big time matchup. And I'm not sure if that's something that Jack Driscoll is ready for. So, Lane Johnson staying on the field today is key. And you talked about how Carson Wentz particularly seems to excel a little bit better when he rolls out to the right side. Well, I mean, what's the common theme there? You got Lane Johnson over there as opposed to Jordan Mailata, Yeah. So,
and you talked about some key matchups. We brought them up here for you guys. You guys in the chat, if you guys are new here, the pregame is all about interaction with the fans. If you guys have questions, if you want to jump on and join the show, give us a shot. Let us know, and we'll get you on. But we will ask questions. So we want to know what key matchups that you guys are interested in seeing, or could be the key to victory. Some of these matchups. But here's some of the matchups that we have: Carson Wentz versus Carson Wentz, because
the classic one.
He's challenging himself sometimes. NRC versus Juju Smith-Schuster. We're not sure who's going to be in the slot right now. If Darius follow. Again, Jordan Mailata. Can he pull off 2 consecutive weeks? Solid play. Nate Gary, everyone's favorite linebacker, against their tight end.
Oh, dear Lord.
Jalen Mills versus Deontay Johnson, who's back.
Yeah, he's freshly back. Yep.
Concussion. Lane Johnson versus TJ Watt. So
a lot of key matchups, and but also I think the Eagles can win some of those battles. I really do. I think Darius Slay has proven to us that he is the real deal. I know Eagles fans, every Eagles fan that I talk to, is so thankful to have a legit cornerback 1 on this team. Makes all the difference in the world, man. And I really do like what we have got going on with Jalen Mills, to be honest with you, as far as him being able to drop back down, get back into his old position, play corner. It's huge as far as depth. And man, I've been thinking a lot about Will Parks recently, man. Maybe it's our linebacker woes. I don't know what, man, but I'm just thinking about I can't wait to have Will Parks back out there, man.
Yeah.
Out there for the first time.
Panos K, greetings from Greece.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
I used to know a Panos from Greece, as a matter of fact. I wonder if it's the same guy.
I'm assuming this is Chris Goldhammer.
Yes. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, man. I know you asked me a question on Twitter yesterday. You said who to roll with, Devontae Freeman or Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is coming back. I'm gonna go. I said if you're a gambling man, Le'Veon Bell. But if you're just trying to be steady Eddie, Devontae Freeman, I'm not sure he has a full grasp of the playbook yet, but I'd roll with Le'Veon Bell. And happy birthday, my friend.
My cousin Chris Ryan checking in. He's actually got a good point. Doug Peterson versus Mike Tomlin. That's another key matchup, man. Who's got the biggest balls in Pennsylvania?
That's what I brought up in it's the who's who. They both have Super Bowl championships under their belt. I feel like it's weird, man, because there are fans that are shout out to our people in Portugal. That is what's up, man. There's Eagle fans all over the place, but there are Eagle fans traveling up to Heinz Field today to watch in person.
Yeah, taking the pilgrimage.
We're gonna be getting them on the show maybe later today. Because I looked at tickets, not like I was gonna go, but I wanted to see.
What was the price range? Are they gouging at all?
It was around like $350.
Lowest price you could find.
The prices that were coming up was like around $300.
Was it after March? I guess it was second. I
don't even know. I just brought it up.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there looking. I was like, I'm not going,
right?
But I want to go. I wanted to get in the car and go. Eagle fans, if there's an opportunity for fans to come back in the stadium, are you going?
I mean, I have a big feeling that what the answer is going to be for that one, man. I know there's people that are dying to get back to not only normalcy, but get back to the Eagles Stadium, get back to Lincoln Financial Field. Feels like home, man. There's a different vibe that you get when you're inside the Link. Like every year, the first time I'm there, it's just like I just get there, take a nice deep breath of air. It's like, man, I am home.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the first time watching a game at the stadium and getting this overwhelming. I was like, man, it's like, really, dude? Are you gonna cry? This guy's gonna cry in the car. I was just like overwhelmed because it was like I thought so much about being in the stadium, being around the vibe, but never. I always watched from home, and being in the stadium wasn't really my thing. But telling you, like I miss that being in the stadium, seeing your regular Eagle fans that go, having that moment. So I feel like,
yeah, you're missing the vibes, man.
I'm missing the vibes.
I don't blame you. Kevin Quinn brings up a good key to the game. I mean, we saw it last week with we had a couple interceptions and a fumble as well, and like, man, that made all the difference in the world. Just being able to create defensive turnovers. It took it literally takes so much pressure off your offense when your defense is able to create turnovers and you get the ball back in the offense's hands. So that's clearly a big key to victory today. We need to keep that trend going in the right direction. Alex King checking in from Australia. It's not just Willie H, people. We're locking down the Australian demographic. Thank you for checking in, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy just to see the vibe, all the Eagle fans all over the country, just supporting this team. I think it's in a weird state, man. Like obviously everyone wants to be hanging around each other, but you can't. So the next best thing is to do it the safest way possible. Do you think Quez Watkins logs any catches today? I would hope so. I think his route tree is still. I'm not gonna say super limited, but in college he didn't really run a diverse route tree, but dude can kill it on some slants. 4.35 speed. Yep. Can take the top off a defense with that kind of speed. So obviously it's something you'd like to see. Someone else we'd like to see, Chris Malley, bringing him in. How are you doing, my friend?
What's up, boys? I'm doing well.
Got the new tire on?
I've had this, nice. But I gotta be. This is the North Dakota game on. I gotta be weird with wearing this because it looks like a Packers shirt sometimes. So I try to keep it in home at house.
Yeah. I see it. I'm also getting kind of the Bumblebee vibes, the Steelers Bumblebee vibes, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at it. It's like super. I don't know. I might have to take it off.
No, I do like it though. I do like it. What's the top? Is that like a midnight green kind of, or like a
olive green? It's literally the North Dakota state colors.
Gotcha.
This is the one that like Wentz's teammates wear for the softball game.
Gotcha. How you feeling about today's game, Chris?
I'm excited, man. One real big factor that we haven't really touched upon yet is the weather. It's gonna be a little chilly and a little windy to start off the game, and then come 2:30, it's supposed to start raining. So it would be nice to have a lead, and like if you're gonna pass, like you want to get that in early because it might get really sloppy. Because I'm pretty sure that they have a grass field at Heinz Field still. So the run game is going to be key. Hopefully Miles is well rested for this one. But, yeah, the weather does look like it could become a factor by the second half.
You want to know what worries me about what you just said is the Eagles tend to start running and then they drift away from it. That seems to be their regular game plan, and so that totally doesn't vibe at all with what we're going to be doing.
I mean, the big thing is we have two workhorse running backs on both sides of the ball. You have James Conner, and then you have Miles Sanders. I think it's a pretty cool matchup because it's Pitt versus Penn State again, and the two guys competed against each other when they were in college. And then Miles was tweeting saying like the last time that like I played at Heinz Field, we won. I think it was like 51-6 or something when they beat Pitt. But nice. Yeah, I looked at matchups that you guys brought up. One big matchup that is like a very underrated name, but a guy that we knew because we talked about him in the draft was Chase Claypool from Notre Dame. He's quietly has had a pretty good rookie year so far. He's a monster, and hopefully they respect him today because he has really deceptive speed. He's like a 4.4 guy, and he's real big. He's kind of like a DK Metcalf in that regard. So hopefully that when they see him on the field, they're not just so focused on Deontay Johnson and Juju going across the middle that they neglect to see that. I understand he's a rookie, but he's a good playmaker. So hopefully Chase Claypool doesn't get lost on any broken plays or anything.
Yeah, you can't really be saying that word around here. I mean, DK Metcalf has been a trigger word amongst Eagle fans in the whole fan base and inside the organization.
How do you miss that, man? How do you miss that?
Hey, Chris, were you DK all for DK Metcalf at that point in the draft?
I mean, Gail, you and I were at the link during the draft when that happened, and we were just because we were talking about like, wow, like he'd actually be pretty cool in the first round, and then when he dropped to the second right into our last, we were like, come on, because like we knew we had Miles, and we're like, that's exciting because then we're finally getting some weapons, and then DK fell there. I mean, personally, I had JJ as like a fourth round pick maybe. So when we reached and took him in the second, I was a little disappointing, especially with DK there. But hey, man, it is what it is. We got Travis Fulgham now, so
that's something to be excited about.
Old Dominion, man. Old Dominion, man.
Whoa, we got someone that's escaping the state, I believe, in the green room.
Shout out to Soko.
Oh, whoops.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Soko? How you doing, brother?
Not too bad. Chilling in traffic right now.
You're on the way to Georgia.
No, we're on our
way out of Georgia.
We were in Georgia.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the traffic vibes going on down there? Is people panicked? There's a hurricane going on, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look too bad right now.
Disgusting.
on a scared level, 1 to 10, about this hurricane.
Like a 1.
Okay, 1.
That's a man from Florida right there talking. If there was a hurricane heading towards my place, I'd be.
You got insurance for a reason, man.
That's right.
So what's the preparation like?
We just boarded up our windows. We have like plywood pieces that we put up, just secure them on there and hope that nothing breaks through your window.
See, I would be like prepping like the wrong shit. I would be like wrapping up my PS4.
Yeah,
Xbox.
I mean, we have like a go bag and everything like ready with like all our important documents and everything. Just grab that and get out.
Very nice, very nice. You think you're going to be able to catch the game at all today?
Yeah, I have a Sunday ticket on my phone, so I'm just kind of waiting until kickoff, man.
Nice.
Hey, Soko, I know you're the fantasy wizard over here.
Yeah, what's up?
What do you suggest all these people do with people in their lineups here? Because this is getting kind of fun.
Did you hear about the latest cancellation? The Broncos-Patriots game got canceled.
Yeah, I got the Broncos-Pats notification this morning. Have depth at your positions. I mean, that's pretty much the best I can tell you. Like, the days, like, especially with this season, like, the days of having one quarterback or one tight end or, like, one defense, one kicker kind of thing are kind of over for this season. So have depth at your positions. Obviously, you don't need to carry like 2 kickers because there's always kickers on the wire. But, yeah, definitely have like 2 viable options for like your quarterback and your tight ends. Like those are your point getters. So I have 3 tight ends on my roster right now. So
who you got?
I got Fant, Ertz, and Ebron. I'm starting Ebron this week.
Not a bad play.
Is it? I don't know about that. You're starting opposing tight ends that are going against our Eagles. I don't know.
I mean,
If you look at how our linebackers line up,
are you a real one? If you starting Eric Ebron, who's at 8?
I mean, would you start Ertz over Ebron right now?
Yeah, I would. Ertz? Yeah, it's Ertz,
isn't
baby.
even a tight end 1 right now. He's tight end 17.
Stop.
Why don't you tell us?
We know what Zach Ertz is. Yeah, say it to his face right now.
You're not going to 17, bud. You're not putting up points. Where's your chemistry? Where's your sure hands?
Do we blame Julie?
Oh no!
Yikes!
You're getting booze in the chat for the Eric Ebron comment.
Oh man,
it's fair.
Well, I'm sorry that Nate Gary's a terrible pass coverage linebacker.
It's totally fair. It's totally fair. And it just brings the question. It's like, when are we going to see these linebackers that we drafted? I mean, we've talked about Davian Taylor. We've talked about Sean Bradley. Man, Davian Taylor doesn't seem like we're going to see him anytime this year. I'm going to be honest with you.
I would just love to see Sean Bradley. Just throw his ass in there.
That's what I mean. Like there's no way that he could possibly do worse than Nate Gary at this point, right?
Look what happened with Singleton last week. You put him out there, see what happens.
Pick 6.
Bradley's been in and out, but like he should be playing more.
All right, fellas, I'm out.
Good luck, Soko.
Be safe, man.
Be safe, bud.
Soko, how about Soko, man? On the road to victory.
Oh.
On the road to victory.
Very nice.
I don't know nothing about like hurricanes.
I've heard they're pretty destructive. No expert.
Like Florida hurricanes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, up northeast, there's been a couple, but not like, like we have to get out of Dodge.
I know, man. That's a crazy thing to live with. Just half the year you got major storms heading towards you.
Shout out to Elena. She said, we always perform better when we come out the gate kicking.
It's true.
This is true. I mean, you like to get up on these guys. You talk about the struggles that we've had over the last couple seasons in the first quarter. That Washington game, we put up 14 right away, and you're like, yeah, buddy, we're back on the mend here. And then it's been a weird couple games, but I think getting up early on the Steelers would be important.
Absolutely. A lot of conversation in the chat right now about the linebackers. It seems to be a common theme all year long. People have been.
We do have linebackers. It's a weird scene at the linebacker position. All Eagle fans are just sitting there looking at the organization like, you're really gonna roll out with these linebackers? Yeah, because you think about like every week there's the opposing defensive coordinator looks at our strengths and weaknesses. I'm a defensive coordinator. I am singling out, not no pun intended for Singleton, but I am singling out Nate Gary. Like if I'm like there's the herd, and then when that weak motherfucker is on the side,
absolutely,
then we attack.
Absolutely,
we get him in man situations, throw a pick on his ass, and then next thing you know, he's out there in coverage on Eric Ebron and Vance McDonald. He's gonna have to show up. He's definitely gonna have to show up.
Thank God for Darius Slay. Did you guys rewatch the Hail Mary at the end of the San Francisco game?
Yeah.
All you see is Nate Gary just like completely not looking, like just not even remotely close to George Kittle. Like, how do you get like, dude, just go to the end zone. It's a Hail Mary. And he just like wasn't that dude, Darius Slay was the only thing that saved that play because Deebo Samuel and Kittle were wide open in the end zone. And it was actually a really good throw. And then Slay just tipped it after that. But, dude, every game, all you see is Nate Gary's back. And he's just not in the right space at all. Like, and then Jim Schwartz he just keeps bailing him out. And I don't understand.
Well, he said it's not his. He's like, he might look like he's out of place, but it's not his fault. I just feel like, does Nate Gary have nudes of Jim Schwartz or something? Is this what
I really don't understand about Nate Gary is he played safety in college, didn't he?
Yeah.
So how can it be so poor at coverage?
But it wasn't like
they said he was a
ball. He was more of a thumper. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I wouldn't say he was a great covered safety.
Okay.
Panos K says, do you think the Steelers are legit rivals nowadays like the Cowboys? I think there's a vibe when, especially when stadium fans can come in.
Yeah.
Usually that's one of the games where Steelers fans do show up.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Steelers fans that'll show up.
A lot of terrible towels in the stands.
The series is at what, 8-4 right now? Eagles
in the Eagles' favor.
The last 2 times the Eagles have lost, were at Heinz Stadium. So it's a rival. And if any of you guys know, the Steelers and the Eagles,
The Steagles, is that where you're going?
joined teams at one point in their
During World War II, I believe.
Yeah, the Steagles, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's one of those rivalries that it's like kind of it's like a geographic kind of rivalry. Since they're both teams are based out of Pennsylvania, I think that naturally it has that kind of like Battle of Pennsylvania feel to it. But honestly, when I think about like Eagles rivalries, the Steelers aren't one that comes to mind. I think about the division, and then I think about, the Minnesota Vikings. I think about the New England Patriots. It takes a little bit for me before I get to the Steelers, but I would nonetheless call them a rival.
I just don't like Steelers fans, man. If you've ever been up to Penn State, it's like half Eagles, half Steelers fans, just because. And dude, those people are obnoxious, man. They're like Patriots fans. They're just like, dude, the fucking worst. It's like they talk about the Penguins and the Steelers, and it's like like Big Ben's like the greatest quarterback. Blah 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 blah. It's like it's so annoying. Like it's like. It's always count the rings, blah blah blah. Like
I know, and the real criminal part of it is that like in comparison, Pittsburgh is such a smaller city that it's a decent sized city, but it's a much smaller city than Philadelphia. And the fact that those bozos have all those championships, man, across all their different sports, like, goddamn.
Can we do a wow now?
Wow. I think we could.
Wow.
Wow, bro. Wow.
The original time, when we went up to Buffalo and that was originally shot, and I saw that video for the first time, I laughed for like a week straight. Shit cracked me up.
I don't know if you guys seen that. It was from the was the March Madness. No, it was somebody it was from the draft, NBA draft. That basketball player saw his teammate get drafted. He was like, "Wow, bro, wow!"
It was Kobe White on the Bulls.
Yeah.
From UNC. Yeah.
We were actually at the Niagara Falls.
Yes.
And that was kind of like a wow moment.
Yeah, dude, that was really cool, honestly. Was a fan of Buffalo.
Luke Facebook says, we expecting any improvement from Davion Taylor this week? If you guys were on, I think last week, Mike K from NJ.com said he's pretty green right now. If it's he even like mentioned Davion Taylor being like a project like a Jordan Mailata. He said some of the guys that he talked to had day 3 grades on them, and the Eagles. Again, like if you watch during the draft, we were key on other players, but I think Davion Taylor. I did a couple breakdowns on him. He's very raw. Can run to the football. Make some splash plays. We're just hoping that he's very green because he hasn't played that much football in his career. If you watch his career, he in high school he couldn't like play with his team for religious reasons. He would. This is the type of heart this guy would. He would go to practice and not play. He'd have to be home before sunset. He would go he'd sit on the deck of his house and get text updates from his teammates, and he would listen for when they would score to figure out what was going on.
This is the real life rendition of the Water Boy with Adam Sandler.
And then
you're not playing football. Football is the devil.
So he got an opportunity with very little tape in college. In high school, walked on and played at was it community college or something, and then he got a scholarship, dude.
That's a hell of a story. And you were saying something similar about Travis Fulgham as well.
Yeah, he's Travis Fulgham, another guy who just was a journey, like as a kid, going all around the world, and then not playing football, coming back to the States, getting a scholarship in his first time playing football. He walks on to Old Dominion, ends
Just
up
takes
getting
off.
coaches was like, after a week of practice, they were like, dude, we got to give this guy a scholarship. Long story short, it's Senior Bowl, shows out and got on NFL's radar. Once you make it to Senior Bowl, and it didn't work out with the Detroit Lions, but here he is. Those are the kind of stories that you like to see. But
Screamer Chic bringing up a pretty good point. And Chris brought up earlier in the show how the weather is definitely going to be a factor in this game. Yeah. Like we were talking about how huge it is for the Eagles to force turnovers and how that can swing the momentum of a game. I think that after 2:30, when the rain starts, like Chris said, I think that that'll be a great opportunity to poke the ball out for the ball to slip out of Ben's hand. It's a good time to take over and force something.
Shout out to Jeffrey. Always bringing energy to the chat. Mm-hmm. Appreciate you. Close game today, but the Eagles pull it out. Oh, by the way, Jeffrey, he streams video games. Check out his content. Maybe you'll share a link to your streaming account. I know Chris does a lot of video games. This guy's the man up in Warzone.
Yeah, have you been able to get back in the swing of things with your thumb? How's the thumb feeling nowadays?
Dude, it's there, man. I mean, cool. I'm still doing PT twice a week, but the funny thing is, my physical therapist she's super cool with me doing video games because it's kind of it kind of is therapy doing it. Yeah. But it's crazy, man. Like that's why when I heard Dallas Goedert mess his thumb up and Reagor mess his thumb up, it's I'm cursing the team, man. Yeah. I felt shitty.
You're like a voodoo doll.
I'm telling you guys, never injure your thumb. It is literally one of the worst injuries I've ever had. I've had 5 surgeries. This was the most annoying one.
Let's see.
Yeah, big thing with the weather, though, boys. Instead of, I know we love Miles getting the ball, but, Quez Watkins is back. Hightower's there. You can do some jet sweeps and get interesting because you don't want to have the ball traveling so far. If it's going to be raining, it's going to be windy. I mean, we saw – for everyone calling for Jalen Hurts, the dude's fumbled twice already. So I do want to see him get some maybe some wildcat action, but at the same time,
it's feeling a certain way.
I mean, how many times has he been on the field in total? 7,
6, 7 times probably.
And he's fumbled twice. And we talk about how bad Carson's fumbling problems are. Granted, they could be, just a fluke sort of thing, but
I mean,
imagine stats, man.
I mean, imagine Hurts turns over that ball in that situation and the kind of flack.
We would have never gotten the Travis Fulgham touchdown if we didn't recover that ball. That was all the same 80-minute drive that Evan and I were talking about after the post-game show. That was the longest drive of my life. That was the longest drive I've ever seen. There's 8 penalties. Yeah. 8 penalties, all these big plays. Yeah, do you guys I just realized this because it was so early in the game. What were we trying to do with that trick play with Hurts back to Wentz? It was that crazy.
I think they were gonna do something that was
pull Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Go back,
No, I was thinking more something. I don't think it was that. I was thinking more along the lines of Jalen Hurts was gonna roll out towards the sideline. Pass it back to Wentz as a backward lateral, and then Wentz was going to launch it downfield. That was my take of what was going to happen.
I don't know. Shout out to David Johnson, always bringing the heat. Why are we drafting so many project players in the first and second round? That's where your proven players should be.
Thank you. So someone get that message across to the Eagles front office, please.
Agreed.
I mean it's very when you go back and look at the players that we missed on that. Especially at wide receiver, that could have been on the squad. Then you're okay, you're hoping that Jalen Reagor, he's flashed. If you've been following our live streams ever since the draft, we've been talking about Jalen Reagor. He gets drafted by us, and we saw the same things in him. So I believe David, your roommate. Oh, shout out to look at that
with the freshie. What's up?
Very clean.
Very nice.
Clean. That's a major flex right now.
Major flex.
The on-field jersey, boys.
That is fire.
I know.
I love the Eagles black too. I love the black jerseys.
Don't you go black, Evan?
Yeah, that's what they say.
I'm just waiting for our son to come back.
Oh, this guy. Major flex. Major flex here.
Limited edition regular signed helmet.
Yeah, really flex. Hey, any of you Eagle fans want to flex and show us your man caves or woman caves?
Yeah,
We'd love to see them. I was talking about David Johnson. I believe you were roommates with AGG in college.
Yeah,
you were in the third round when AGG was on the board, and we were like, "Yo, this is a perfect opportunity if you're going to pull the trigger on AGG." And then we like the football gods pulled everyone together, and we're like, "Yeah, AGG's roommate in college in the fucking live chat."
Yeah. Man, dude, that was one guy during this draft cycle that I was really had my eyes on. I know Chris was talking him up like for months, and he was really the one that turned me on to him. Dude, he seems like a nice talent, and honestly, the way that the Eagles draft ended up, and the way that we look at these linebackers, that we got Davian Taylor in the third round, that he's a total project. I mean, considering how bad we're hurting right now at wide receiver with Alshon and Deshaun out today, wouldn't mind some AGG.
Yeah, I mean, without those wide receivers, our guys, it's a horror show out there. But speaking of horror, shout out to Jeff again. I said he plays the game. He just put his Twitch stream in the chat, and he says he plays mostly horror games. Look at that transition, man.
Very nice. Segue king.
Pro's pro.
So James is getting a little bit ahead of himself, I think, here. So how I'm reading this, he's saying if the Eagles wideouts show out today, do they end up moving up in the depth chart over Deshaun and Alshon? I don't think there's any chance of that, man. We've got a long ways before that happens. Eagles has a rapport already with Deshaun and Alshon. He has yet to ever throw a pass to Kes Watkins. So for them to make that sort of leap, first of all, I don't see it happening today. If Kes Watkins gets the ball in his hands, I think it's 2-3 times max today. He's a new body. You got to work him in. You got to slowly work him into the offense. You look, John Hightower's hasn't missed a game yet, and he's been slowly implemented in. I think that he gets his touches, but you got to take advantage of those times.
We do have some live footage of Greg Ward speaking with the rest of the receivers.
Can't hear it.
It's your boy? Yeah, nigga, we will go. What's up? Hey, what? Well, welcome to Smart Tech. Hey, is this your boy? Yeah, nigga, we will go mash you. What? What? Where you at, sir? No, he don't need no help. He's already been served. I served him. He's taken care of. He's a little slow, but he got it. See, what he thought was he could come up in here and make the rules, but now he see that Jay make the rules in Smart Tech. Then I run this bitch, and now he about to bounce. It's your boy? That's my boy, nigga. We rep the same Smart Tech. He just got fucked up with him. Both y'all niggas gonna get clapped up when I get back. Both of y'all niggas. What did I do? It don't fucking matter. Well, aim high, Willis. Aim high.
God, is Kevin Hart Minka Fitzpatrick in that scenario?
No, I mean, Kevin Hart is Deshaun Jackson. That's Greg Ward letting him know. Him and Carson, he's the man now. He's getting the reps up in this.
That's fair. I mean, you look at the end of the season and the beginning of this season, he's the one guy that you've been able to lean on consistently week in and week out.
And that's the key thing about Greg Ward. I said it on our last podcast. Greg Ward has been the level of consistency. I don't care what you say about his skill set. He was a quarterback. He was a practice squad player. If you realize and you know that the relationship between Greg Ward and Carson Wentz goes back a long time when he had wide receivers out in North Dakota, he has a familiarity with Carson Wentz. And he's got the most receptions on the team. He's been his key target. Talk about those plays on third down that he was like, I can't say enough. Like, as a football player, you want consistency. You want to know what you can expect from players. That's why you can come back to them over and over again because you know at least at the end of the day they're going to catch the football. And Greg Ward has shown he can do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, the thing that we love about Greg Ward, and we talked about it before the 49ers game, is like as an ex-quarterback, like he understands coverage. Like he understands, and Carson understands that like every single route isn't going to be perfect. It might get broken up, but Greg Ward, he'll see Carson struggling like Greg Ward did when he was at Houston, and he'll just stop the route and he'll just get open. He knows where, he'll know if it's in zone, he'll know if it's in man. He just understands how to get open, and he catches everything, and that's a big thing. But a guy that doesn't have the most reception on the team that I really want to talk about and get your guys' opinion on, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. He missed last week with an injury. He's coming back today. And in my opinion, I think that today could be the make or break day where if he doesn't produce with these guys and he gets outshined by Travis Fulgham and all these guys, and Alshon comes back next week, I personally would not bench Fulgham and punish him for doing a good job 2 weeks, assuming he does good this week, if J-Jaw still can't get any production. Because Fulgham, in my opinion, is a better blocker than J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, a better route runner than Arcega-Whiteside.
Hey, you forgot to use the correct name.
J-Naw.
J-Naw right now. So he does something with J-Naw.
He's like he just is like a mystery to me, man. It's just like the coaches were defending him last year because like he lined up in the right position. I'm like, I hope you're able to line up in the right position. That's the least of my worries if you're lined up in the right position. But he can't run routes.
Did you believe he went to Stanford? This part of me that I'm not yet sold on like kicking him off the team yet. Like I'm also like use him to his best ability. Like he's not like a crazy nuanced route runner. So why are you using him that way? Like he's a chain mover. So if he excels on slants and bodying out wide defensive backs, why don't you hit him on like 5-yard slants? Or
that's what I'm saying.
Like down by the goal line, he's a jump ball specialist. Throw him a jump ball, like bodying out players. That's where he excels. So why not use him that way? I mean, you can go back to week 1. He was wide open on the slant in the end zone. Like not a lot of people, if he scored a touchdown, do we talk differently about J-Jaw? But Wentz went to Ertz. But if you go back and watch the play, J-Jaw is wide open. So there's been a couple plays where he's open, but sometimes you have to target him. Like give him target.
I don't know, man. I just haven't seen anything in his career so far that has shown me that he really deserves to be out there. When I think of J-Jaw, I can't help but think about the jump ball opportunity he did get last year against Detroit. And then he ended up blowing it and we lost the game. The ball just went right out of his hands. And so
you remember the play against the Giants, the over the shoulder?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that, but I mean, I tend to remember, the big mistakes that I can point to and be like, that's the reason we lost that game.
And the first play against Dallas too, great catch against Dallas. The first play, like he's capable. It's just,
but there's no consistency in it.
The Ravens preseason game against the.
I was there, man. Yeah, he went nuts.
Did you Did you see how he's being used?
I think a lot of it is coaching for sure. I mean, guys, look at Mike Evans this year. Gonna stop myself there because the two talents are completely different, but I just meant the way that they're being used. Mike Evans has like 6 touchdowns this year, and they're all within like 6 yards. Like you're telling me this guy can't run like a 3-yard slant and literally just like catch the ball and fall? Like, cause that's what Mike Evans does. Because Mike Evans' ankle is like mashed potatoes right now, but they don't have Chris Godwin. It's like, dude, like just go in on the goal line. Brady's gonna throw the ball, catch it, and fall. Like you would hope, like J-Jaw's a big dude. Like you would hope you'd be able to do that, or just be able to get a jump ball. Like I agree with Gail. Like I think a lot of it is definitely coaching because they're trying to make him do too much. Like the funniest thing I saw, most disappointing thing I saw was he was at the line of scrimmage and just doing like high knees for like probably 6 seconds, and like just never ran a route or blocked anyone. And I'm like. It was like I thought like the screen broke, but everyone else is moving full speed. And I was just like, I just think it's just confidence. That's really what it is. Like, but like do something, man. Like give him like a screen pass, like anything, like just to get him like in the game. And that's the big thing though. Like after you don't catch a ball for what, like 6 straight games, like you just kind of fall out of like confidence, man. That's what it is.
As a wide receiver, like I went through some mental stuff. Like when you don't get targeted, there becomes a point where you start getting into your own head. You start questioning your hand.
Yeah.
Like you never drop a ball, and then all of a sudden you start dropping balls, and you're like, or like, why am I not getting reps? Like, coach, put me in. And then you saw it with Ertz when he was struggling with his talking about the contract. The dude drops a ball like on a down that he normally catches a ball. So I figured that the whole thing with the umbrella thing, Eagle fans are not going to allow you to
live that down for sure.
Live that down until you do something great. And then he did talk about killing it in camp. And the reporter was like,
yeah, they said the same shit about Corey Clement.
So I don't know, man. Like, again, I want to see him used down by the goal line, run pick plays with him down by the goal line. That's I
think that you guys really brought up the point, though, in that, like, you say how he's got limited opportunities, all that. The difference between what we've seen in our short little sample size with Travis Fulgham and what we've seen with JJ Arcega-Whiteside is, like, Travis Fulgham hasn't done a tremendous amount, but he took advantage of the opportunity that was given. That's exactly what JJ needs to do. I get that you have limited opportunities, but when the ball gets thrown your way, you have to catch it. You have to come down with it, and that's how you get more balls thrown your way. I don't exactly feel like Travis Fulgham is a better wide receiver than JJ. That's not proven to me yet. He had one catch that ended up, being a key catch to win the game. But you know what I mean? I don't say just based off of that Travis Fulgham is a better wide receiver than JJ. I just need to see him capitalize on his opportunities.
I'm going to bring up a play to talk amongst yourself. Just showcasing his blocking ability. Like
who's blocking ability? JJ's or Travis Fulgham? Yeah,
he's a great blocker, man.
Yeah, you were saying that, and that is a key part. Like, we're trying to get this run game going, and we know already that Ertz is not a blocking tight end, so any blocking help that we can have is certainly going to go a long way. Chris, what was your thoughts last week though on Wentz getting a little bit feisty with the cornerback on that blocking?
Dude, but that's what you got to do, though. Like, dude, I love that he just. It's not I don't think people should undersell it. Like, it's not a coincidence that the more that they're using Wentz as himself, running the ball, doing stuff that he likes doing, rolling out. Yeah, let's go back to the block though.
Yeah, look at this block right here.
It looks like the blind side, dude. Look at this.
Yo, any
he puts them in the front row of the stands.
It's 15-yard block. I understand it's a cornerback, but still, that's not easy.
Yeah,
but he's a wide receiver. That's like
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
it's not easy to do that.
No.
Shout out to @PhillyNick100 who posted that play. That's the kind of stuff that you go back and watch the All 22 and you look at that kind of effort that you're getting from someone, and you're like, this guy made the best of his opportunities.
That's how you make the team, man, and that's how you get on the field. That's everything. But yeah, Ev, what are you talking about with Wentz? So, the blocking play, but that's it though, man. Not many quarterbacks are gonna do that. Like you see people. Who was it? Was it what quarterback was it that was out on as a receiver for Wildcat, and the cornerback scared him, and he flinched.
Oh, was that Sanchez? That was years ago.
I think it was Sanchez, but that's what I mean though. Wentz was trying to make a play, and it's not a coincidence that the last couple of weeks when Wentz is actually playing. They're using Wentz as they should use him. You can't play scared. Don't let Wentz run. I'm scared that he's gonna get hurt. It's you can't play that. You're gonna lose games, and that's gonna get in his head because then he's gonna be worried about the money and the team. Just worry about the play and everything in front of you. Wentz has run for 110 yards through the last two weeks.
Yeah,
and it's completely changed the way that the offense looks. And I don't think it's a coincidence. I saw a good question from Ted in there. I was asking about are Steelers missing any one of importance? I know they're missing the right tackle. I know that Pouncey was banged up. TJ Watt was banged up. I know they had at least like 6 people on the injury report. TJ Watt's is actually he's definitely playing, and it's actually his birthday today. So hopefully
TJ
we
Watt?
give him hopefully we give him a bag of shit and no sacks today. So I mean, he's a good player, man, but you can game plan around him.
His brother Derek is out, correct?
Yeah, I think Derek Watt is he out for the year? I mean, that's a really underrated thing that people don't realize. Like teams that use fullbacks, like when their fullbacks are out, it disrupts a lot of things because Derek Watt, I completely credit him for Melvin Gordon's second year explosion because Gordon sucked his rookie year, and then they drafted Derek Watt, who was his fullback at Wisconsin, and then Melvin Gordon has 10 more touchdowns and like 600 more rushing yards the next year. No, like 400 more rushing yards. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence. I mean, we saw Kyle Juszczyk score what? 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl last year. And that's a big thing. So TJ Watt not being in the game for the Steelers, like that's a big thing, especially a game where they're gonna try to dominate on the ground with Connor with the weather.
Yeah, I think they got Benny Snell. It's a solid 1-2. Benny Snell's a grinder.
Yeah.
Was it McLaren? The third string running back?
They got a McLaren?
Is it McLaren? Not McLaren. From Maryland. Hold on 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves.
What? Wait, what's that?
But as far
You
as
froze for a second. What team?
What were you saying?
Yeah,
Chris?
McFarland. I'm sorry, McFarland. Anthony McFarland from Maryland. He's flashed for them. I think this is a great. I'm not going to say great. It's going to be a good test for our defensive line. We've been getting to the quarterback. 17 sacks. I mean, Eagles are getting their money's worth right there. We pay the most for our defensive line out of the NFL. You talk about that interior pressure I keep on talking about week after week. I think it's very imperative, especially you have a quarterback like Ben Roethlisberger. You can collapse the pocket, but most importantly, the quickest way to the quarterback is right in front of him. So if you blow up that A and B gap, Hargrave, whether it be Fletcher Cox, we need Hargrave and we need Malik Jackson to beat those one-on-ones consistently.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing about Ben Roethlisberger, he's got a quick draw. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's one of the fastest in getting the football out of his hands. I think he's at about 2.28.
I'd like to see the age start to show in Ben Roethlisberger today. I mean, I think about the Tampa Bay game the other day. You guys happen to see Tom Brady forgetting what down it was? I want to see a little bit of senileness out of Ben Roethlisberger today. Maybe after he gets shook.
Yeah, Ben
puts him on his ass.
Ben has the third fastest snap to release average at 2.28 in the league. He's only been sacked 5 times. He has 7 touchdown passes and only 1 interception in 109 attempts. The Eagles have, I just mentioned that the Eagles have, 17 sacks, league high, but they also have 13 in their last 2 games. The Steelers, though, have the most sacks per game right now in the NFL. They're at about 5 sacks a game. You think about our offensive line right now. We played pretty well considering last week against a pretty good defensive line. We're missing some pieces with Bosa out, whatever, but they still showed up. This defense likes to blitz. Yeah. I think that's one thing that whether it's their slot corner, whether it was linebackers, you name it. Mike Hilton, he's a great blitzing slot corner. So you talk about Carson Wentz seeing the field. He's gonna have to see these blitzes. He's definitely gonna have to see these blitzes coming.
And I think like that's something that makes me nervous about his quick release, just because I'm worried that the defensive line isn't going to have the time to even get to him.
But then there's also the
Darius Slay factor.
Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was trying to get the overlay here. There's this factor. I mean, if you can get this guy and shut down Juju. That's hilarious. If you can, I mean, it's great having CB1, guys. I mean,
yeah.
Up in the chat, how excited are you guys to have a CB1 in Philadelphia? This is something that we've been wanting for years.
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing, I feel like.
And Jennifer Slay giving out free jerseys last week, man. Another great addition to the city of Philadelphia.
Him and Horford are like the complete opposite because wait, I'm so confused.
Don't get me started on now, Horford. You're gonna make my blood boil.
Because like Horford makes me so mad, and I don't know if it's his wife or sister on Twitter makes me so mad.
Who, Anna Horford?
Yeah,
that's his sister, I believe. Yeah,
I hate her. All she does is talk about the Celtics and how much that like the Philly fans
how much
suck.
she misses it. Yeah,
and then it's Darius Slay. This dude's making every single play, shutting down everyone, saving the games, and his wife is like talking up all the Philly restaurants and the Philadelphia fans and giving out jerseys, and I'm just like, I hate you, I love you, like it's dude, it's like complete polar opposites. It's kind of funny how that is too, like Twitter and real life.
I need the Eagles to distract me today from the fact that that the Sixers let Jimmy Butler go to Miami and decided to pay Al Horford $109 million.
Let's focus on CB1.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
There is an album release. Dr. Slay.
Oh,
the cornerback. I don't know if you guys are Dr. Dre fans, but the Chronic, Dr. Dre, the Chronic.
You think I don't know the Chronic, Gail?
I mean, some of you uncultured motherfuckers out here don't listen to all types of music, but I put out this meme and it didn't hit like I thought it would hit.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, come on, you don't know Dr. Dre?
Yeah, Willie hitting our sentiment, just that it has been a long time since we've had a Pro Bowl corner. We've tried. We've tried to get one a couple times, and it hasn't exactly worked out. I saw Nnamdi Asomugha actually is going to be starring in his first feature film. Ever since he left the Eagles, he actually became an actor because he was sick of playing a football player.
Wasn't he married to Kerry Washington?
Was he? I don't know.
That's almost as strong as Chris's flex with the Rager jersey.
It's true.
I mean, Nnamdi, man, jeez, blast on the pass. I mean, he acted like he was a good cornerback until he came here, so kudos to that. But
Nnamdi and Byron Maxwell, we've tried.
I didn't think Maxwell was that good before he got to us, man.
Yeah, I know. Like, we talked about him being a CB1.
It was like the Legion of Boom. Like, it was just the aura. But, yeah, what you guys are talking about with Big Ben getting the ball out fast. Like, Schwartz, play, press, coverage. Because Big Ben is just going to do all these little dink and dunks to Juju and Ebron. Like, don't give up 8-yard little dump offs all day. Like, press them. Like, I actually believe in our defensive backs, and I believe in our defensive line, and you have to just get in his face. Big Ben, like, I don't care if he's getting the ball out fast. If they're open because we're running zone the whole day, then it makes them right. But if we play up and get in people's faces, like, you can see something there, man. Like, I think you need to play press. Like, you can't be worried about getting burnt until after it happens. Like, play aggressive, play up, because Big Ben wants to get the ball out fast because he's scared of our defensive line. Like, he's versus crap so far, dude. Like, we talked about it. The first 4 weeks, I think they got a bye last week, right? Yeah, because of COVID. Like, the first 3 games, they haven't played anyone. There's 1 win on their opponents. So I'm just saying, like, play up, play aggressive, let the defensive line get home.
Yeah.
2nd and 7. Look out. Gets it away and it's picked off inside the 10-yard line. It's picked off and running back to the 29-yard line.
Talking about pressure in the face.
Getting hits on the quarterback, man.
Jannard Avery, that pick that we gave, 4th round pick, finally is working out. Jim Schwartz talked about Jannard Avery and his ability, his moves. They kind of like cut down some of his signature moves. It's like Ryu has they made sure that they focused on some of the moves that he's good at, and it's starting to show up on the field. Talk about that fastball later in the games. If you look at our defensive line as a whole, it's almost like it's meant to like ground and pound like your opponents. By the first quarter, you're getting beat up. Second quarter, you're bringing in fresher guys, and at the end of the fourth, like second half, when you can bring an Avery off speedball off the edge, I think that's great. He looked pretty good, man. 5 QB hits in 16 snaps. That's the kind of production you like.
He's looking really good, and he's showing up all over the stat sheet, like you're saying. Honestly, it's making me think. I'm starting to think we should just trade these draft picks away and get proven talent. I mean, we suck at drafting, but we give up a 4th round pick for Jannard Avery, a proven talent. We gave up a 3rd and a 5th for Darius Slay.
That's a steal, dude.
You know what I mean?
That really might be one of the greatest trades of all time in our franchise.
Exactly, man. Like you're able to get some of these vets on some pretty good trade deals. But the difference is the contracts, of course. You're going to be getting with a rookie.
You can't do it for everyone, but you can do it for some. It's just the way
for positions of need. Exactly. Yeah.
Now, KP says, love the fact that he's ranked number 1 in sacks, but Steelers D is second with 15, so it'll be defensive battle. Yeah, absolutely. We actually just talked about that, and my key to victory in our last podcast was just really whose defensive line is going to show up, shut down their opponent's offense.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a close battle, but whoever's defensive line steps up to play and makes people uncomfortable. Man, but again, like this is what happens with our Eagles teams. They downplay the Eagles, right? They don't think they're going to win, and these are the kind of games that they win. So you're hoping that Carson Wentz has his best game of the season. Like, because if we get Carson's best game of the season, to me that's a W.
Definitely, definitely.
You get the best play out of Carson today. That's a W, because we haven't seen that yet. Like I guess last week was his best week, but that for Eagle fans,
if he can play mistake-free football, I think that could be a W. You know what I mean? If we win the battle of the turnovers, I think that could totally be.
I mean, he's been basic right now. Like he's definitely been. He hasn't even been Old Navy. We get the Gucci version of.
He's been the Gap. What do you think?
He's not even Gap. Wow. Last week's performance.
He's like Marshalls, man.
Yeah, last week's performance last week was like Marshalls. The 2 passes was like Goodwill and like Salvation Army. The first, if you get at least an Old Navy. But if we
imagine a Gucci.
No, I want Bass Pro Shop Wentz, man. His natural habitat, man. I mean, I want him there, man.
I take even a Bass Pro Shop. I mean, drinking the blood of your opponents, like crazy. Once I was watching Evan throw me a link to his Instagram, Wentz Brothers
Outdoor Bros. Yeah,
you watch that? I didn't even know that. I knew it
crazy, man.
But I never thought to go and look at it.
I followed it once, like Wentz was drafted, and he opened up that page. I was like, yeah, I'll follow anything once.
He's like out there hunting and shit. So Brennan says, I just switched Ertz to starting over Ebron. You guys can quit booing me. Talk about peer pressure.
The power of peer pressure. Don't be afraid to bully your friends. I mean, that's really the messages we're trying to get across.
I mean, Brennan is a fantasy god. Last week he won
$11K.
Brennan is doing a lot of fantasy content for 4th and John, but also just follow him on 4th and John. Brennan, if you put your @ on Twitter, he won $11,000 last week, folks. So if you're wanting to win money playing DFS, he's the guy. So I mean, I was a little jealous.
Yeah,
a little jealous, my friend.
How can you not be? Here's his @ right there. B. Shokowski on Twitter.
But just to mention, we have our chef coming back. If you guys weren't here to laugh, who made a killer cheese steak for us. It was a little fancy.
Yes, has been deleted out of the pictures if you're looking for it. I feel like that's exactly where you're headed right now.
But
needed space.
Come to think of it, I got to send him an invite.
Yeah, but dude, he had our mouths watering over that last week. I was so jealous. He had a killer cheesesteak that he made, fried onions,
and today he's going to be making a Primanti Boys sandwich. I don't know if you guys have ever had one of those.
What was on that? Was it corned beef or what was it?
It's like corned beef and I think potatoes. And
you don't fuck with the corned beef, Chris?
No, corned beef's grilled Reuben's one of my favorite sandwich. I'm saying Primanti Brothers is super overrated. I think Alex is gonna make a better sandwich than they will. I just don't think it's that good, man. Like I'm not just like the Steelers who haven't beaten anyone. So yeah.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Another surprise, all the way from the lower south part of the country, western.
What's going on? Good morning, guys. Good morning.
What is up? How you doing, man?
And this
doing
is
all right.
7:37.
I woke up extra early for you guys. I always do. You know how it is.
when you as Eagle fans, right? You wake up with a vibe.
Oh yeah. No, you know what?
What was the vibe telling you this morning?
You know, it was already what? You guys are 2 hours ahead, so around 5:30, 4:30 in the morning, my phone's already going off with notifications of people saying, "Hey, it's game day. Wake up, let's go." You know how the timeline is on game day, and it's an in-state rivalry. You know, I remember the last time these two.
Wake up out of your sleep. Wake up out of your sleep.
You know,
that would just get me hyped.
Yeah, this is, you know, and it's an in-state rivalry, you know, and you guys were talking about it earlier. I remember the last time. What's up, Jordan? Jordan says, "What's up?" The last time these two teams played, I was there at the link, and the Eagles put a whooping on the Steelers. I don't know if, you know, that was a great game. So hopefully the Eagles can capture some of that magic again and take it to the Steelers again.
Yeah, but that was what Sproles caught that pass. Wentz rolled out of the pocket, and I was like,
that was such a beautiful ball.
I was crying at that play, dude.
Yeah, no, that was a fun game. That was one of the best Eagles games I've ever been to. Was the Steelers game.
They got after Ben Roethlisberger. That interior pressure I keep talking about got there and made him uncomfortable. And Carson Wentz, again, as we talked about, outside the pocket to the right side of the field, hits a Darren Sproles, and Darren Sproles just did the rest. But again, they were
Darren Sproles took some ankles on that play.
They were on him like flies on shit that day. Because he is a shit quarterback off the field.
Oh. Got him. Yeah, but what do you think is the key matchup today, Puga?
It's going to be whose defensive line just comes out to play better. You know, obviously the defensive lines for each team are phenomenal. You know, the Steelers, they blitz a lot. The Eagles you don't really see the Eagles blitz too much with Jim Shorts.
Yeah.
But you see the front four getting home. And if the Eagles can get to Ben Roethlisberger and disrupt the timing with Juju Smith-Schuster and all these other weapons that he has, and with Slay out there, you guys were talking about it earlier too, having Slay out there with that defensive line, you know, could be the difference in this game. But also, Jordan Mailata and the offensive line have to bring it today, because this defensive line for the Steelers is way better than what the Eagles played last week in San Francisco. I know Jordan Mailata played a phenomenal game, and everybody stepped up to the plate last week. But you know, this is a different beast. They're going up against the 3-4 defense, and you know, now that film's on Jordan Mailata, and you know, they can kind of hit some of his weak points. You know, how is Jordan going to respond to that? You know, and that's a big factor for me too, and it makes me a little nervous. But the way I feel like he's coming along and progressing, I think he can handle it. But he's going to see something new today. I want to see how he responds, and hopefully keep Carson upright, which I think they will today.
Yeah, and I agree with you in the fact that I think this is going to be a defensive game. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game personally. As far as what you're saying about the Eagles blitzing, like I think that the key to the Eagles' defensive line really is that rotation. Like them keeping all those guys fresh, rotating guys in, and being deep on that defensive line. You can get a sack out of pretty much any one of those guys on any given Sunday. So having that ability and then having, guys that, man, the thing that makes me nervous is, so we've talked about how Ben gets the ball out quick. And so to me, that means that the ball's not going that far down the field. And if the ball's not going that far down the field, I'm thinking that's going to be in the middle of the field. And if it's going to be in the middle of the field, who are they going to be attacking? It's going to be the linebackers.
Yeah.
That's how you game plan for the Eagles, is you just pick the scab of Nate Gary.
This was the last time that the game that we were talking about, and the quickest way to the quarterback is Fletcher Cox, and nobody likes Cox in their face.
No.
And when Cox is fired up and feeling a certain way, bro, like I feel like he's did you see him run over David DeCastro that preseason game? Like the dude, if you leave him 1-on-1, he's gonna body you.
Yeah.
Ben knows a thing or two about unwanted Cox.
There's levels to this here. Levels. Did you guys see Fletcher Cox and
Brandon Graham? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The mic'd up, that was awesome. I haven't, in Brandon Graham's entire career, I haven't seen many mic'd up versions of him and like him trash talk on the field. I've seen plenty of Fletcher Cox. Love hearing Fletch talk on the field, but it was nice to hear Brandon Graham getting some digs in, man. That was funny to watch.
They say BG talks more than anyone in the NFL. I mean, if you watch the what was All or Nothing season last year, dude,
Yeah.
BG does not shut up. It is so funny. Like half the stuff he says is stupid, but like he just does not shut up the whole game. It's great.
Yeah. And then Fletcher getting him back in the zone. He's like, hey, snap out of it, man. Gotta play.
It's like big brother and little brother, man.
Yeah.
I actually have that one. Bring that up for everyone in a second. Here.
The funniest thing was when BG's yelling at Marshawn Lynch. He's like, hey, beast mode, I'm big beast mode. You little beast mode. It's like dude, what?
That one. Don't think I ain't gonna come get you. I'm coming to get you. Oh yeah, 7-5. I see you on film, boy. Don't worry, folks. I'm coming. You wait. You too slow for me, man. You good, dog.
He ain't going hard, I promise you. Now he gonna do it the whole game. Hey, next week. Right now, right here, all right? Hey.
I know, I got you. That one. I think I ain't gonna come get you.
He was like, hey. Focus.
Yo.
He goes,
Last year
I'm with you, Fletch.
Dude, last year he called someone fat boy. It was so funny. BG, he was like, fat boy. He's like, you eat 2 steaks today, fat boy. And it was so funny.
That's Chris. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, I think it was the Cowboys game. He was telling one of the.
I think it was Collins. It was Lyle Collins. He was like, fat boy, like the whole game.
We were talking about winning the one-on-one battles. Friend Duffy put out a post here. We were talking about Malik Jackson, and if we can get this kind of production today, obviously
a couple different ways on
Fletcher
Sunday
Cox
night.
is going to get the double team.
This is early in the game. You're just going to see the power from Malik Jackson, and this is something that shows up every single time he steps on the field. He's got the ability to collapse the pocket, does so there, makes Nick Mullins feel uncomfortable, ends up being an off-target throw that falls incomplete. Nice bull rush there from Malik Jackson. Then we'll see one more, him against the run, defeating a trap block. He's got to defeat this block from the center, look him swim through contact, stay square line of scrimmage, put his foot in the ground, get lateral, and make the stop alongside Brandon Graham. Malik Jackson really making his presence felt on the interior of the defensive line. Nice violent finish there at the end.
Gotta love the versatility, man.
We missed Malik Jackson last year. I think
Absolutely.
He's an athletic defensive tackle. You can move him on the outside. You can move him on inside. I really feel like winning those one-on-ones will be important today.
Yeah, dude, Malik Jackson, you said it exactly right. I mean, I really didn't know what we were getting in Malik Jackson last year. I knew losing him week 1, like I just hadn't seen anything from him. I didn't know exactly what we had lost. And now that I've seen him involved in this defense, my God, man, he is a force to be reckoned with. He really, him and Cox in the middle, they are creating so much pressure. And, Cox taking the double team is allowing Malik Jackson to get through. And, dude, he is a crucial part of this defensive line right now.
Yeah, the guys winning in the middle is so important because the guys on the edge have to get home because they're going to be one-on-one all year. I mean, because Fletcher Cox gets double-teamed, and then Malik Jackson and Hargrave, they're going to be one-on-one with a guard or center all year. So, like, Avery coming up huge. Dude, Derek Barnett back from the grave. Holy hell. Like, dude, he had a great game last week. And then Josh Sweat's been doing it all year. I mean, I think Josh Sweat's up to what, like 4 sacks already this year? I mean, Sweat
looks 3.5, I think. Yeah.
3 sacks for Josh Sweat, 2.5 for Barnett. So these two guys,
that's huge.
Given contributions, you're seeing the development in Josh Sweat, but you're also seeing Barnett come back from injury. Like he's been riddled with injuries. So just having that kind of production off the edge is great.
If you had to start one over the other, who are you starting?
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Sweat.
Yep, I agree with you.
Whatever it takes to like fire up Derek Barnett, it's cool with me. It's cool with me. Like make him earn some reps.
I'm glad he's been coming alive though, because there was a lot of people with their booze cocked and loaded for Derek Barnett sitting in the chamber.
Yeah, you can see
me included. Me included.
I see you. And when I talked about Derek Barnett, I said I was like he's the 16th, 17th player out of the starters. Like I wasn't like out of 21. I mean 22 starters. So far 2.5 sacks. So you like to see what you're getting out of him. Hopefully he's healthier.
People are saying Sweat over Barnett. And they're also saying that combination is outplaying Clowney this year. And that was big conversation this offseason, talking about bringing in Jadeveon Clowney. He's not necessarily being missed too much right now. Not that we ever had him, but.
It's really just the linebackers, guys, and we know that. Like the D backs are stepping up big.
Shout out to Brendan going in the chat.
Brendan, how you doing, man? Welcome.
I don't know if Brendan knows that he's on.
I don't think he does.
Technical difficulties, huh?
when Brendan is ready.
All right, so Birthday Boy has a question. Who is the 2 players you would cut from the team?
Okay.
Carson, obviously. I'm kidding. Nate Gary definitely comes to the top of the list for me.
I would go with Arcega Whiteside. I'd cut him.
You're pulling the trigger on Fega already? I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
You know what? Just the way these younger guys at receiver are stepping up, wanting it more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to go with the hot hand, and like the way Hightower stepped up on that 4th down last week.
Yep.
And Fulgham, right? Fulgham? Yeah. Is that his name? Yeah, Fulgham.
Yeah.
The way he stepped up, in a big way, it makes you kind of wonder, hey, what other potential do they have?
Absolutely.
We were waiting on Arcega Whiteside to develop and come through, and I mean, for Christ's sakes, like there's rookie receivers that have been drafted by other teams who have more yardage than he does in his entire career.
Yeah,
I know his career hasn't been that long, but I mean that's a problem when you're not getting production out of a 2nd-round draft pick at wide receiver. I mean that's detrimental, and when you have younger guys stepping up, who are not even drafted, who played at Old Dominion, kind of says it there. So
absolutely. For me, I would go Nate Gary as well. I think I would also, honestly, I think I'm pulling the trigger on Corey Clement. I'd like to bring
That's
in
what I was
literally
thinking of.
any other running back. Like to bring, man, Corey Clement hasn't shown me much of anything recently. We talked about how Miles Sanders talked about how he was, showing flashes of Super Bowl season Corey, which I'm even on the record of saying like he had some big plays. Everybody remembers the Philly special, obviously. But as far as like, was he a force to be reckoned with that year? He was decent and he was productive and he helped out. But you know what I mean? He wasn't like the guy. And I think that he ultimately just is what he is. And I think he's fallen off a little bit since then. I would just like to bring in a different running back and see if that could switch things up.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want some production out of the running back group. I feel like, Miles Sanders has been that steady guy. I feel like you're hoping, he goes back to Pittsburgh. He grew up a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He's played on that field in high school, but I feel like Miles Sanders has been a steady Eddie for us. So far, he's averaging 4.6 yards per carry on 51 attempts. That's right around where he was last year.
I have something interesting that I want to ask. Super Bowl year, we made that midseason trade for Jay Ajayi. Didn't give too much, a 4th round pick, I believe. Do you kind of see Howie and the front office kind of looking in that direction again if we can't get any production out of Clement and the backup running backs?
I mean, I think it all depends on how the next couple of games go, because as it stands right now is we're first in the division, but a lot can change. I mean, but I don't see the division changing much. Like, I think it might be like an 8-8, 9-7 type of division winner for us. So let's say we get to the bye and we're like a game out or we're in the lead, and there's teams that are just complete crap, like just doing terrible. I mean, why not? Because as Evan and I were saying earlier, we haven't been doing much with these draft picks. So let's say you can use ship off a 5th round pick. I mean, one thing that we have to realize is Jordan Howard, we barely gave up anything for him last year, and he was great until he got hurt. And, if you can get someone that talented for a late round pick and just add some depth to the lineup, I mean, why not? Or just see if there's maybe just a free agent out there. I mean, it's worth a shot if you think that you're that close to getting the division winner, because we see everything's hour by hour right now at the NFL. I mean, the Patriots this morning thought they were going to play a game. Now they're not playing until next week. And then the Titans might not even play for 2 weeks in a row. So that's the thing. It's really anyone's game right now. I understand that the Eagles don't look great. I understand that there's better teams, but things happen really quickly. So if we get to the bye a little further or towards the trade deadline and we're in a position to win the division and we're relatively getting healthier, I mean, why not take a shot, bring in someone that could really push us over the edge and really add to this offense?
Yeah. Get some momentum going as we're marching through the playoffs.
Joining the conversation. Can you hear us, Brendan?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hey, you're
right
crispy too, man. That's a nice mic you got there.
Yeah, it's the first time I unboxed it yesterday. So
very nice.
First use here.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, it took its virginity.
How you feeling, man? We're talking about the vibe that obviously Eagle fans, we wake up with a feeling. Your gut feeling this morning, how did you feel waking up about this game?
Well, obviously I woke up excited and I had some weird optimism, but all week I've been very nervous, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of the matchups in this game, especially on the offensive side of the ball to the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I think Doug's going to have to scheme up kind of what he did in the 49ers game. He schemed up a lot of plays to open up the field for players. He's going to have to do that here because, look, if you break down kind of every single matchup that this on Eagles offense for Steelers defense, the only matchup I can find that maybe we have the upper hand in is Mike Milton versus Greg Ward in the slot. Besides that, that's not saying much there too. Mike Milton's probably the guy that you want to go after, but besides that, there's a lot of mismatches on the Eagles offense for Steelers defense, and yeah, I'm pretty anxious about it, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we talked about earlier in the broadcast is just that the one guy who's been ultimately really consistent on this offense week in and week out is Greg Ward. So that really could be a key matchup.
Yeah, exactly. He
had a tweet on Twitter that went a little viral, man.
Popped off.
A lot of people quote tweeting this. Give me
included
in here. Like, give us your all-time Eagles opinion.
So I came up with one that, like, the one I don't really have too much. The one that I came up with was I think the 08 Eagles team was a better shot to win the Super Bowl than the 02 Eagles team, if that makes sense. Like, I know the 02 Eagles team was hyped up a lot in that Buccaneers game. I was like 8 or 9 years old. I was a kid, but I still remember it. And I remember that team was very hyped up. I thought that 08 Eagles team had the better chance to win the Super Bowl than the 02 team. That was the only thing I could come up with, really. I guess I'm not a fan of the Kelly Greens too. I don't get the whole Kelly Green.
Oh, you're not
craziness.
on the Kelly Green.
No, like I don't. I like the midnight. I don't really see the need to go to Kelly Greens.
Yeah.
That's all I can come up with. Let me think on that for a sec.
and talking about that 08 team, comparing it to the 2002 team is, 2002 they were pretty much good the entire year. 2008 they started good, went down. They had that 3-game winless streak, right? Tied with the Bengals again, and caught fire at the end. And made it all the way to NFC Championship. Unfortunately, came up a little short. But you're absolutely right. I think that they had a better chance with McNabb. That was like their last window. That was the last hoorah that they had to go for it, and unfortunately, they came up close. Came up short.
It was like, if they beat that Cardinals team, they had a great matchup against the Steelers in the Super Bowl. I thought, matchup-wise.
And you're giving me some PTSD because I was actually at that NFC Championship game.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, when Deshaun tipped that ball to himself and caught it, I felt it in my bones that we were like, we're freaking winning this game. And Larry Fitzgerald, man, God dang it, man! I tell you what, it gives me nightmares.
As for me, I don't know about you guys. For my all-time Eagles take, that in response to Brennan's tweet, like, dude, I would be such a ruthless owner. It's not even funny. I'm like, even before the Super Bowl happened, I am on the record of the 4th and John show saying that if Nick Foles goes and wins the Super Bowl, even if he's the MVP of the game, the Eagles should trade him right after the game.
Yeah,
the value will never, ever be higher. And we already have a franchise quarterback, man. like everybody, I am permanently scarred by that 08 Phillies team where we just got sentimental with guys that we won, and we ended up signing them to contracts when we should have moved on. That's exactly how I felt about the whole Nick Foles thing, man. I wanted to, as much as I love Nick Foles, I'm thankful for everything he's done for this city. I think the best move as an organization would have been to trade him while his value was highest. You could have got a 1st-round pick out of that, dude.
Yeah. I believe Cleveland offered like a 2nd-round pick too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think his 2nd was the highest that came out. But you have to expect that at least a team would have offered a 1st eventually, right? He just came off a Super Bowl MVP.
He's a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So I agree with you, Evan. That's a good one. I didn't even think of that. I would have. And like, you know what? The biggest issue with the team right now is those 2 playoff runs that we just had with Nick Foles have like escalated the fact that this team has glaring holes. You know what I mean? Like, and it pisses me off that we're all happy and dandy over the fact that we had these 2 playoff runs, which were great. Like the 2018 one, like the Alshon drop and stuff. That team was better than last year's team. But I feel like Howie Roseman's getting off the hook here for kind of saying, "Oh, we made the playoffs, so you know what? I must be doing a good job." Like, no. If you look at the overall record of this team from 2018, 2019, we're barely above 500. And it's showing this year.
It's a product of this division as well.
Exactly.
This division has been the NFC least for a few years now. So, and it seems to be the same way again this year. It really does feel like a team with a sub 500 record could win the division this year.
Exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, so we didn't get all the way around the room. What's your guys? You afraid of the Heat? You afraid of telling us what the what your ballsy Eagles takes are?
One of mine is I think that Jalen Mills is not as bad as people think. I've always been on the Jalen Mills hype train because I loved him at LSU. I don't think that we would have won the Super Bowl without him. I understand that he's not the greatest player, but everyone like yells at him like it's his fault. Like, I think that the big thing was like he was a safety and then he was thrusted into a starting corner position because there's a position of need. It's like, it's not like the guy was like begging to say like, oh, like I'm the best corner. No, like he went out there, he earned the job, and then like look at him this year. We just beat San Francisco with him going back from safety to corner all of a sudden. And I don't know about you. I didn't hear Jalen Mills named used in a lot of negative ways last Sunday. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't like he's just been steady Eddie for us. I understand like he's made his bad plays. He's gotten burned at times, but like I don't think he's as bad as people think he is. I think a lot of it's scheme because like, dude, look at Rasul Douglas. Rasul Douglas is ranked the top 8 cornerback in the entire NFL this year since we got rid of him, and he's been on Carolina balling out. I mean, that's the thing with like a lot of our players. Like, we don't use play to their strengths, and I think he's definitely one of them. Jalen Mills. I mean, if he's here next year, cool. If he's not, it's not gonna kill me. I mean, for being here for what I think this is year 5 for him. I mean, he's been pretty damn good because him and Wentz came in for the same draft, and as a 7th round pick, like I think he's done more than exceed expectations, which is like
I agree with that.
I appreciate that.
We've gotten a starter for what, like 4 out of those 5. I don't know. I don't think he started his rookie year.
But yeah, his rookie year he started.
He started there. To get a 5-year starter out of a 7th round pick, that's huge.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, no, like the thing, I think Eagles fans get on the middle of the pack guy on offense or defense, right? And then we end up running him out of the town. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
So Mills is an easy guy to blame.
I think that Mills also, like, one of the things that just rubbed people the wrong way is like how just his habit of like, so he did get burned sometimes, and then on plays when he actually like not even a pass breakup, like the quarterback ends up overthrowing him, and he's doing the finger wag. I think that just rubbed people the wrong way.
He's easy to hate.
Yeah.
Now Brennan says hot take of the century: Deshaun Jackson has never been the most important piece of an Eagles team.
Like his whole career wise, or like this year?
That's what it seems to. That's how I interpreted it.
Can we get on the Deshaun Jackson topic? How disappointing has this reunion been? Like I'm ready to cut it loose now. Like this is getting annoying.
Already?
Like it's he's missed 16 of the past. This is 17 of 21 games. Like he's taking up a roster spot at this point. He's just cashing a paycheck. Like I love Deshaun Jackson more than the next guy. I got the Miracle of the Meadowlands hanging up in my room. Deshaun Jackson punt return. Like he's one of my favorite Eagles of all time. Don't get me wrong, but like he's taking up a spot at this point. Him and I know Alshon may be a different story, but Deshaun 17 to 21 games he's missed.
Yeah.
And if you take a look at it, like I know I'm not trying to harp on Howie Roseman too much here, but John Brown was available. Like if you take a look at like the different scenarios that we could have went, like John Brown's been exactly what we wanted of Deshaun Jackson in Buffalo, right? So look, I think the front office needs to kind of get off of bringing back the old Eagles players, like the whole Richard Rodgers again thing. Like it's a matter of time before Jordan Matthews comes back. You know, like it's I don't know. I love Deshaun more than the next guy, but he's running out of time here.
You're not the only one that feels that way. Apparently, there's a little bit of Deshaun disgruntledness going on in the chat.
I mean, look at this. We're talking about Howie Roseman, and again, it goes back to the GM. Look how much money is spent at the wide receiver position right now.
Oh, I gotta get close to the screen.
$30 million. Now you look at the top. You look at Alshon Jeffrey right here, $15 million. Has not set foot on the field. Deshaun Jackson has only played very few games this year. Jalen Reagor is injured.
Yeah,
they're cashing paychecks basically.
Highest wide receiver can't get on the field. You're begging Hightower and Ward, and Quez Watkins, guys that you're hoping that these guys can ball out and ball on a budget, especially going into next year. But these guys are going to come off the roster next year, and we'll have some freedom there. But you look at that amount spent for the production that you're getting from those guys. That's when people have issues.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like it's a roster spot taken up at this point. Alshon and Deshaun are like they got 7 wide receivers that are on the roster right now, which is to me too much, and 2 of them are hurt. So what I don't know if they're all going to be healthy at the same time, but there's going to be some decisions that are going to have to be made if once Deshaun and Alshon get healthy, right? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to have, I think, 8 guys. I think they have 8 receivers in the room right now.
He was on our show last week, and he mentioned, and he was very firm, and he said that no one has been able to cover Deshaun Jackson in practice.
Yeah,
he's been open. He's been one of the most open wide receivers on the field that Carson Wentz has missed.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole cutting Djax, that's not going to happen.
No, I don't think they should cut him. You got to give him a chance. Like,
that are saying,
yeah, I don't think they should cut him for per se, but like it's getting frustrating, if that makes sense. Like it's getting annoying. It's the fact that he's missing so many games. But like, yeah, they're gonna have to play Alshon Deshaun when they get healthy. I don't like, you're paying them this much money. You got to give them a shot on the field, but it's getting this wide receiver position, man. It's getting like to my breaking point here.
Yeah.
And then Joker Benfica says we can't cut either because it's cap. Exactly. But
I mean, sorry, go Ev.
No, but mine was unrelated because I'm starting to see news, people asking whether the Chiefs and Raiders game is still go today. Did they test positive? Someone from there test positive as well? I'm trying to find that out now. I haven't seen anything.
No, I think it's just Buffalo earlier.
Yeah, from what Schefter said earlier, I think he said the only positive tests were out of the game you just mentioned.
Yeah, I don't see any news about that.
All right. The wheels are starting to get a little bit shaky, man.
Yeah, I agree.
It's making me nervous.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm not sure if you guys have heard the conversation about as far as like what the plan is if the season does ultimately have to end up getting, abbreviated. Like they're talking about going into the figuring out a playoff structure that's based off of winning percentage. What's your guys' thoughts on that? Because I don't like it. To me, what that sounds like is like they're kind of going to disregard the divisions entirely, and it like potentially
that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't help us.
That wouldn't help us at all.
Yeah, no. And I don't think the NFC East would even make the playoffs if it.
That's what I mean. I think it would be an NFC East-less playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
If that were the case,
I feel like there's going to be a week 18 and like a week 19. That's the way I kind of see it going right now. Like they're going to have to extend the season to have like these games that need to be made up for week 18, week 19. Like you're going to see an extension of the season. Like it's a domino effect. Once one team gets affected, like it affects every other team, right? It's
Absolutely.
I heard from someone who was talking to a couple players on the Eagles roster. This from a source was saying that they, the whole idea was getting past Game 4 so they can get paid for the whole season, and that season would be canceled. And that's a vibe that is like last week was week 4, and now you're seeing all these people get infected right now. Like you start to wonder, like if the NFL was like, all right, we're going to go for this money grab as much as we can go, how many games we can go. The Titans, remember the Titans? They fucked everything up.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole protocol. They, some of the guys weren't, following protocol. The league's talking about like coming down with new rules, whatever. The way that it's trending, it's not looking good right now.
No, it's not. And honestly, another thing that I'm not really liking out of it is this right here, where they're moving games to Tuesdays. Like,
it's good for us as fans, but
I mean, it's good, I guess, for fantasy purposes. It's good for us as fans, as that like we have more days to watch football. But think about it from the player perspective, where these guys got to turn around after a Tuesday game and get ready for a Sunday game. That's not, you know what I mean? That's just like turning around for a Thursday game.
Yeah, the schedule's going to be all out of whack.
Yeah, and that's going to be, there's going to be. I feel like there's going to be teams that end up getting caught. And you look at the Steelers last week; they were forced to take a bye that they didn't know was going to happen. Now they got to go 13 straight weeks of playing football. You know what I mean? Their bye's already gone.
Do you think they have the advantage after this bye, like going into this game?
For sure. For this game in particular, I think they do. As far as like later in the season, when they could really go for a nice rest, like come like week 10, I think that's when they're going to be feeling it,
Yeah, I think the biggest problem too is the Steelers' offense has had trouble so far this year. Like Big Ben's been kind of off with his receivers, and I feel like this extra week might have clicked. So I think the Eagles are at disadvantage too, with the Steelers getting that bye week, and I think that's the biggest matchup is the Steelers wide receivers versus our DBs. So if you can get an extra week preparation for that, I think the Steelers kind of hit the lottery there.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan from YouTube has a question. He says, do you guys think that the NFL should just go for a 2-week quarantine and then resume the season?
No.
I don't, because I ultimately think that like a 2-week quarantine would just be a waste of time, because I think that even if you take the 2-week quarantine, the risks are still going to exist after the 2 weeks. I think people are still going to end up testing positive after you take that 2-week quarantine. So like, while no one might get sick during that 2-week quarantine, you're going to get back to what you've been doing already. And you know what I mean? You're just going to be postponing the inevitable, I think.
What's up, Jeremy?
Yeah, I think they're in too deep now. So I think they've already started. They gotta keep checking on.
Yeah.
Paul has a question. He says, do you think the season will continue if more players are getting COVID?
Yeah.
I don't think they're stopping.
I don't know, man. I think it really depends on the amount of players that end up getting it. I don't think the NFL, maybe they go for the money grab and they just like end up like, they're like, I don't care how depleted your roster gets, and they just they open up more roster spots, and they, you know, it's just practice squad players on playing against each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
If they get a week, like what if like Wilson, Mahomes, and like another star player all get COVID in 1 week? Like then
that's what I mean.
Yeah, that
like, how do you market that as the NFL? You know what I mean?
I could see something happen, but I don't know. I think they're in too deep now. I think they got to keep checking.
I agree with that.
Kevin from Twitter says, fellas, y'all, this is from next year, obviously. Fellas, y'all think they should at least bring back 2 preseason games to prevent all the injuries?
Yeah,
yes.
I would like to honestly get back to 4. After seeing how the Eagles have been playing, you know, that was our big excuse that everybody wanted to lean on this Eagles season so far, and their slow start. Everyone wants to talk about, well, you know, we didn't have a preseason game to get our feet underneath of us. Nobody did, but quite frankly, it seemed like those preseason games are crucial. They're crucial as far as shaking the rust off and seeing who fits your roster the best. I mean, we've talked about this show, how our second round pick in JJ Arcega-Whiteside of last year, he hasn't been showing up, man. And so we have a guy in Greg Ward, who was an undrafted free agent. He seems to fit in this offense better than JJ does. And there was a Daz Deals ended up putting this in the chat as well. He says, Greg Ward is proven now. We were just talking about the wide receivers, how much money they're making. He says he deserves pay and a roster spot for the next few years. We talked about how consistent Greg Ward has been. And like, you look at all the money we're giving to Deshaun, you look at all the money we're giving to Alshon, and you're just wondering, like, I kind of agree with him. I think that how consistent Greg Ward is, how often he's on the field, I think that he deserves a contract. He's consistent, man. What would you guys be willing to how much money would you be willing to give Greg Ward? What is he, like a $5 million wide receiver?
I think he's a middle of the pack slot guy at this point, maybe. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, the thing about it, he leads. He's second on the team in receptions with 18. Team high 8 of his receptions have been on third down, and 7 of which have resulted in first downs. So you think about what he's meant to Wentz at this moment, you know, bro. But he's being consistent.
He's only 25 years old too. He's still young.
John Woodson compares him to Jason Avant, and honestly, I thought Jason Avant had great hands, bro.
Oh, you know, not only that, but Jason Avant was a really good route runner. He wasn't the fastest guy, but he knew how to get open.
He wasn't an elite wide receiver, but I don't think he was necessarily a bad wide receiver.
And before Odell Beckham catch, there was a Avant catch, one-handed.
Tampa.
I'm going to find that for y'all, but Jason Avant. I went to Lehigh training camp.
Mm-hmm.
I have this catch of him, like laid out.
Talking about Payne Ward.
Laid out. Like, I took like a sports photo shot. Like there's like 15, 20 shots of him like laying out for football. One of these days I'm gonna find it, but bro, like he has some great hands.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So boys, I got to take off in a couple minutes. So I want to just talk about the Steelers game quickly. Like, how are you guys feeling about this? Because like can you guys talk me on the ledge here? Because I think this
you're not feeling good.
No.
What scares you the most? Is it the matchups?
It's our O-line versus their defensive front. Like, and the biggest issue with it is the Eagles are going to try to find a way to get the ball to the running backs. The Steelers have been awesome at stopping the run and stopping passes to the to the running backs. They're first in both those categories in run stopping and running back receiving yards out of the backfield. So those are two ways you beat blitzes, and the Steelers are good at stopping that too. So I'm worried. I think this could be I think this could be a wake up call for this team after the win last week. But like, what are you guys feeling? Like, I think the only way we can win this is if we get at Big Ben and we get at him a lot. Like, and there's one matchup, Brandon Graham. I think they're starting a backup right tackle. I can't pronounce his name to save my life on the Steelers. But he's the one matchup where like you can get Jernard Avery and Brandon Graham rotating in. I feel like that they could get some pressure there, but there's not much to like look forward to and be like kind of excited about for this game. We don't match up well, basically.
I'm feeling good, man. Like
I'm not worried about
the Steelers team who's feeling themselves. They played the Broncos. They played the Giants. They played the Texans. Combined one win between those three football teams.
Yeah, they haven't proven anything for sure.
They had like a bye, so it's like it wasn't like they were ready for that bye. It was just a forced bye on them. You know, they could get healthy and whatnot, but I feel like this defensive line, like they have not seen a defensive line like ours yet.
Yep.
That kind of pressure. Again, we've seen that kind of pressure, and I feel like this defensive line could be better than one that he faced when he got trounced. And he's a mobile guy, but he's not. He can get out of the pocket, but he's slow as shit. But
yeah, he's a statue now.
If you get him in the pocket.
Yeah,
that's where we win. We have two interior guys who can get after you, and Malik Jackson and Hargraves can beat that one-on-one. So I think that's imperative. But the one
that's the one we got to get after him, man. It would be great to see like another Derek Barnett game. Like he looked awesome last week. That was probably his best game as an Eagle. I can't think of another game where he's played like that. So if we can get like back-to-back games from him, like that's encouraging. Finally, we got like a young guy to look forward to on the defense. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's the only way we're going to win. I think that's the only way we're going to win all year is by getting after the quarterbacks because that's our strength right now. And they're playing the way they're getting paid, right? Like we're paying these guys to do this, and
absolutely.
So, I think Slay Day is very important to.
Yeah, he's been rock solid. He's been awesome.
Shutting people down, dude. So I mean, those are the things that you can hold your hat on. Yeah, like you mentioned about their defensive line. Them getting after, they blitz. They get after the quarterback. They send blitzes from the slot. You name it. So blitz pickup is going to be huge with Mailata, Bud Dupree. That matchup. We brought up some of the matchups earlier before you got on. I feel like these are. Let me know what you think about these matchups. I'll run it again here. If I can bring them up.
Now I think Brendan hit it right on the head. That's exactly almost what I said also.
Yeah, I'm not worried, man. I'm actually really confident about this game. What'd you say, Brendan? Sorry.
No. Tell me why. Because I love to get some like a little excitement here because like that Bud Dupree Mailata matchup freaks the hell out of me. And like inside, like Matt Pryor on the interior right now is scaring me because he's gonna be the one in charge of these blitzes. The Steelers blitz like 50% of the time right now. They're coming after you. So like I don't know. I like the O-line looked okay last week, but like this is still a patchwork offensive line. And look, Mailata, like he looked great, and I'm hoping, like I'm praying he looks good today because maybe we got something in him. Mm-hmm. But he still started one football game in his career, and he's going against Bud Dupree, who is a top 10 run stopper in the league, and he's one of the better pass rushers in the league too.
Yeah, to me, what I think this game is ultimately going to come down to is going to be a defensive battle. I think it's going to be a close game all the way throughout. I think the Eagles are going to fight, and I think that ultimately, how I said it on Tuesday, the Eagles are going to end up winning by a field goal. Probably at the end of the game, I had it at 17-14. That was my Eagles win prediction. But I think that's ultimately what this game comes down to. I took the under last night. It was at 43 points. I'm smashing the under. I think this is going to be a very defensive game. That's what I'm saying today.
Yeah, I hope so. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. Thanks for having me, boys. Go Eagles.
Take it easy, Brandon. Thanks for jumping on, man.
I feel like, Dad says this is a scary game. Steelers are no slouches. And then, that's the part where I'm like, this defensive line, we're no slouch at the defensive line.
This game is definitely going to be won or lost in the trenches for the Eagles. They have to get to Big Ben. Like I said, they have to disrupt the timing with Juju Smith-Schuster and all those weapons that he has. And with Slay out there, I mean, anything's possible. This is a game where the defensive line has to play better than what they did last week, and then our offensive line has to step up again. I don't want to repeat myself, but I think that's just the emphasis of this game is the trenches. We win the trenches on both sides of the ball. We win this game.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not worried, man. Like I just really think that it's not as scary as people look. Like the Steelers have versed 3 shitty teams so far, and they have led up the same stat line to 3 pretty average or worse quarterbacks. They've led up pretty much 280 yards and 2 touchdowns to Ripon, Daniel Jones, and the good one is Deshaun Watson. Like all 3 quarterbacks that they've faced have had the same stat line. It's been like 280 and 2. You saw the Giants completely shut down Connor. I think Connor finished with 9 rushing yards. Like I understand he got a little banged up in that game, but like that's a part of it. Like before he exited the game, like he got nothing. And like I don't think that our offensive line is anything special, but I think that we can game plan around their defensive strengths. I mean, San Francisco was a little banged up, but we still managed to stop them. The Washington football team, their defensive line, in my opinion, is as good or better than Steelers, and we're up 17-0, and then we shot ourselves in the foot. Like, I'm not really worried about it. Like, I think that you have to go in there and not play afraid. Like, you need to tell Schwartz, you need to play up in man. You can't let them get dinks and dunks because Big Ben's going to be trying to get the ball out fast. If you stop James Conner and you hold them at the line, like, I understand our linebackers aren't anything special, but I don't even know if James Conner is going to be getting to the second level because I do think that our interior and edge guys are going to be able to stop him before he even gets loose. Like, I think it's going to really come, like you're saying, Puka, I think it comes down to the defensive line and getting there. And I'm just really confident. I mean, Steelers are putting up like decent points, but they're going against like terrible teams. I mean, the Giants are terrible, the Broncos are terrible, and the Texans are terrible. What's up, Willie?
Shout out to Willie.
Yeah,
man. How are you feeling, man? Like every time that you've been on the show, the Eagles have lost.
Oh shit!
No
shit.
pressure.
Okay.
No pressure.
No pressure. All right. Well, no hot takes from me then. I'll keep my mouth shut. I'll just sit here, let you guys talk away. I'm feeling good, especially after the win last week. I don't know. There's just something about it. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like the confidence is back again, and I don't know. I was really impressed with it last week though, so I'm hoping that rolls over to this week and good to go. And defensive front, man, that was good.
And Mark says, "What's up, Willie?"
What's up, Mark?
Willie's got fans out here. Shout out to Mark. Always appreciate your banter.
Yes, I see Mark all the time.
Mark is also a sneakerhead like myself.
Hey, those are some sweet kicks you made the other day, by the way. Not to get off subject, but those kicks for Giovanni were pretty awesome, man. I enjoyed watching you make those.
Yeah, it is. We were on his podcast, and his dad was just talking. We're just talking about the shoes I had done for a person who was doing. She was doing the Eagles Autism Challenge, and Gio was like, "Oh, I was watching the videos on IG. I love the shoes," and he's like, "Oh yeah, he's always watching the videos." And then I heard that him say, he's like, "Oh, my birthday's coming up in like 2 weeks," and I was like, man, we gotta.
Well, you talk about catching some steam. Giovanni's podcast is on a roll right now, man. He's had some really good guests. He's had you guys. He's had Kyle Brandt, Chris Long.
Yeah.
So shout out to Giovanni doing his thing.
Yeah, it was funny because I was like, yo, you gotta ask Chris Long to be on your podcast. They're like, you think? I was like, yeah. I was like, no way. Chris Long is going to say no to you, Gio. Like, go ahead, just ask him. And then the next week, they're like, yeah, we asked him. And then he's on. I'm like, of course. I keep going, man. And shout out to, at the end of the day, man, it's about passionate Eagle fans. It's about community. It's about inspiring others and connecting with a lot of you guys all over the world. Just seeing Eagle fans come together is a lot about what 4th and John is about. Just bringing guys together and talking Eagles football and having a good time doing it. It's part of the lifestyle. Like obviously, other brands we're all about the lifestyle, talking, X's and O's, and just living life as a fan, as an Eagle fan. But yeah, man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling. It's weird because I'm feeling good. Like normally, I feel weird about some games, but I'm feeling good about this game. Am I off for feeling this way?
No.
Is it the underdog mentality?
And not only that, we all know that the Eagles play better when their backs up against the wall and everyone's counting them out. You saw it last week. You saw it last week right before the kickoff on NBC.
Everyone back to 49ers.
Oh yeah, all the experts, all the analysts, 49ers. And then you see the same thing this week. The Eagles are a 7-point underdog, and again, everyone's counting them out. So Chris, Gail, Willie, you're right. I'm nervous, me personally, just because what Brandon said about the matchups. But as far as getting hyped for this game, I'm hyped. I feel like they can do it today also.
We also have Allison, Renee, I believe Jillian. They're at the game right now.
Oh no way!
They're great. Those guys.
Willie!
We're gonna.
Hey, what's up, man?
We're gonna try and check in with those guys. I'm gonna see if they're around. Because that's a weird thing, man. Obviously we've been talking about COVID in the chat and the whole league experiencing.
You know what, Gail? I was just looking at Twitter right now, and Adam Schefter just tweeted that he says, "Here's the plan per sources, which tied to Tennessee being able to play. So the Broncos and the Patriots play Sunday. Well, I guess this next comes Sunday. Week 8, in quotations, what was supposed to be Denver's bye is Chargers at Broncos. And Week 11, which is Miami's scheduled bye, they're going to play at Denver, Week 11. So a lot of shifting and shuffling with the schedules going on in the AFC right now. I'm just lucky that this has, knock on wood, that this hasn't affected the Eagles in any type of way. So that's just the food for thought for you guys right there.
Yeah, that's been the one bright spot that the Eagles have really not been hit by it yet. But the thing that scares me is that the injury bug is what hits us every year. Our medical staff seems to suck. So I don't know if they know all of the spells and potions that are needed to keep COVID out of the locker room. Hopefully. But Willie, how are you feeling about the game today, man? First of all, I'm always what is the time difference there? Is it 24?
It's
20 something.
2:30. 2:30.
2:30 a.m.
2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
But 2:30 a.m. tomorrow. You're already on the 12th, right?
Yeah. Because we just had daylight saving. So
Willie's calling from the future. Did the Eagles win today?
We just had daylight saving. So clocks have been 3 a.m. kickoff is now 4 a.m. and then you guys lose daylight saving in a few weeks, so that becomes 5 a.m. So
wow,
it's actually better as the season goes on. It's the start of the season where the games start super early.
Yeah.
So,
that at least you just get up early instead of staying up all night long. Yeah, Jeremy feels the same way. A little bit worried about the medical team and our COVID, but
it's like hypothetical. An Eagles player walks in with a fever, and the medical staff says, "Just rub some dirt on it. It'll be all right."
Whoa,
Trucks is it?
Oh, truck.
Someone might be. Yeah, is that your truck?
What up, fellas?
What's up?
Is that my mic?
I think it was. I think you're good now, though. Yeah, I think you're good.
Yeah, he's on mute.
Quez Watkins' debut today, guys. That's pretty exciting.
Yes.
I'm excited for Quez Watkins. I'm excited for him. I saw him play a couple of times because I'm a big UTEP fan. He was in Conference USA. Guy can fly. So if we get him in open space, I feel like he can make some big plays. So hopefully Doug and Carson can kind of get something going in the game plan for him and get him involved.
And hopefully that offensive line can give them enough time for Quez Watkins to be able to get down the field. Like I brought up on the last podcast. Go ahead.
So I got another. I guess I don't know if you guys got it too. It says
we got breaking news.
Rookie wide receiver Quez Watkins is active for today's game.
Hey,
so he is playing.
All right.
So,
but yeah, so we really need to have the offensive line be able to protect, so that we could actually have this guy get downfield. I talked about on a previous show. Honestly, all of the touchdowns that Wentz has thrown so far this season have been at least 14 yards or more downfield. And that 14-yarder was actually an outlier. All of the plays that all the touchdowns he's thrown have been usually between like 20 yards and a little bit over 30. So he's actually like the big time plays are the ones that we're scoring on. We dink and dunk our way down the field, but we score on the big plays. And we need a guy like a Quez Watkins, like a John Hightower, like a Jalen Reagor, a speedster to take the top off.
And
that's how we're getting the end zone.
Quez Watkins and some highlights from college. I mean, you're talking about his route running ability isn't as nuanced as others, but he's not just a vertical threat. He can get downfield. He's made some nice plays on the slant. I mean, this speed right here shows. You know, what I mean,
yep.
He just takes off. I think he had a 4.35 was like the third fastest 40 time in the last combine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at that speed, dude. Like,
yeah.
All of your fantasy football players, Julio Jones is officially inactive.
This whole
what's wrong with Julio Jones?
Hamstring.
Okay.
He re-injured it last week.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm this whole dude, like this fantasy thing is like,
it's rough this year, man. It's rough.
I know Trox mentioned that that's why he didn't
I told you fellas, get out of it. Get out of Dodge. I told you guys. I warned you. That is why I made my move.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And I got to tell you, I've learned my lesson as well about drafting wide receiver to start off a draft. Never doing that shit again. My team fucking sucks, man.
I go running back usually, man.
I usually go running back to start off, but like who was sitting right there for me? It was like Mike Thomas was sitting there. I was like, okay, I'll take Mike Thomas. And so then it came back around and everybody literally after me took running backs too. So I thought to myself, I was like, okay, I can have the 10th best running back or I can have DeAndre Hopkins. I was like, all right, I'll take DeAndre. But it's just been it's been a rough season so far, man. My running backs are big time trash.
I don't know what to do. So hey, what about if you're playing fantasy? I got Gordon, right? Is he not going to be eligible for?
He's not playing.
No,
Melvin Gordon's not playing.
Broncos aren't playing, man.
What the?
Yeah, I gotta change that as well.
This is where I'm thankful I really don't play fantasy football and I'm not stressing out.
Yeah,
like an hour and a half before the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to catch it out.
But no,
you guys like this at the tailgates with their fantasy teams and everything like that?
Huh?
What was that?
This is normal.
You guys like this at the tailgates with your fantasy teams? And
Exactly. Yeah.
Tailgates,
Exactly.
you're just like, are your roster set, bro? Like, what are you playing? Are you got concerns?
Let me ask.
We're dealing with some major fantasy issues.
Let me ask the group here. I got to fill a flex spot because now Melvin Gordon's out. Jarvis Landry, Mark Ingram, or Devontae Freeman? I guess I got to go Landry, right?
Yeah.
I'd probably safest floor is
Landry,
probably Landry or Freeman. Freeman's been getting kind of like more implemented in the offense, so he's probably a good like 11 to 15 points. But Landry, though, I think he's like base 10, and then you hope for a touchdown, and then get him up 20.
Freeman is also going against the Dallas Cowboys, who
I
their
know
defense
that's
has
why
been
he's solid.
hideous so far this year.
Yo, I got some.
terrible.
Yeah.
Hey, if you had Carson Wentz and you had Joe Burrow, would you drop Carson Wentz?
If I had what?
I have Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Burrows, and Wentz.
You have 4 quarterbacks.
Well, I was doing it to trade. I was waiting for Brady to pop off.
Yeah.
50 burger and then trade him. But then this COVID stuff.
I did that one year.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Brady, especially in the last game, like it feels like that age is starting to show. You guys see him forgetting what down it was? That was so funny.
Yeah, well,
But,
no, he looks definitely seasoned out there.
He does. Sure. He threw 5 touchdowns a week before, so I'll give him that. But this past game was nothing particularly pretty
in his last year.
Yeah, but I think that the age is finally starting to.
But he's not what Peyton was.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, I wanted to like this.
You remember Peyton in that 2015 year? He was awful to watch.
Yeah.
But when he does stuff like that, it's hard to like the guy.
Gronk is a guy that has completely fallen off. Deebo Samuel or Jarvis Landry?
I forgot his phone.
Ooh. It's against Miami, though. I mean, Deebo Samuel's been sick all week, but I still think that he could be like a part of
Michael Jordan had the flu, bro.
I know. They're close, man. I mean, I don't think you're really going to hate anyone you put in because, like, everyone's kind of baseline 10 points, and then you hope for a touchdown. Yeah. All those guys.
And Jimmy G is back. Yeah.
Is that Miami game home?
San Fran is home, I believe, yeah.
I was going to say, because Miami can get full capacity, and I'm curious to see how that looks.
Yeah, there's going to be, speaking of, there's going to be fans at the game today. And anyone, we know Allie, friend of the show, Allie's heading out to Pittsburgh. I don't know, you guys know anyone that's heading?
They're getting ready
Renee
to go.
And Jill.
Renee staying in the same hotel as the Eagles.
You hear me?
Yeah.
I said they're getting ready to go to the stadium in a few, and they'll report live when they're in the stadium.
Very nice. Very nice. And this is another thing.
Take pictures of them walking out.
Another thing that is hurting about Brady, other than his age, how about his sportsmanship? Two times now, not shaking Nick Foles' hand.
It's a bad look.
Yeah. It is, dude. And for someone who is like, regardless of whether or not he's shaking hands, he's undoubtedly the best football player that's ever lived. Okay.
Fine. No, but he was shaking hands last week, though.
Well, I think
what I'm saying is that if you're that person, if you've reached the pinnacle and you're the greatest player that's ever played, you have to recognize too, you're the example setter as well. If you're going out there and you're being a poor sport,
correct,
what kind of example is that setting for every other player in the league?
But I think what it also is too is I think I know we don't see it like Tom Brady, but I think and I feel like Tom Brady gives off that vibe when it comes to Nick Foles that he thinks he's better than Nick Foles and Nick Foles is inferior to him.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that this guy's taken a Super Bowl away from him and then showed him up on a Thursday night with a team that on paper is stacked for Tom Brady and beat him again. It gets to Tom Brady's head.
I think it's definitely in his head.
Yeah. So
it would.
Of course, he can bitch and moan all he wants, but I mean, we saw it last week or weeks prior? I saw him shaking hands with the Chargers. So
Justin Herbert.
So I mean, what's the difference between Justin Herbert and Nick Foles?
I mean, probably about 7 inches, I would say. But yeah,
that
dude,
guy's fucking tall.
I really think that last game with Foles too was really the kind of just like his entire career on show. Like it was so inconsistent. Like that is Nick Foles to me. When I think about Nick Foles, I think about obviously the first thing that comes to mind is the amazing Super Bowl run, but I also think about just how his career has been so like the range of like how he's looked so good. And like you think about like we always talk about Carson's what was it, 38-7 he threw that one year, 38 touchdowns, 7 interceptions in 2017. And like I think a lot of Eagles fans forget.
Yeah.
Nick Foles went 27-2, man. He threw for 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions one year. Had a really good year. He was on fire. I believe that was the same year he threw 7 touchdowns in one game versus the Raiders. Mm-hmm. And then for him to just like, man, he has really, like, when it's low, and he just is all over the place. Can't make simple throws. You look at that one in the Chicago game. He's missing his running back out, it was Allen Robinson. He's missing them right out in the flat. Like, dude, it's simple little layup throw, as Jimmy Kempski would call it. I don't know, man.
I got a dilemma, fantasy dilemma here, folks.
What's going on? You look disgruntled.
You look, yeah.
What do we got?
Gail's going through it. Gail's going through it right now.
Yeah, you look like you're really struggling. What's going on? Talk us through.
I have Gordon. I have Judy. I have Philip Lindsay. So obviously they're not playing this week.
Fucked. Go ahead.
So I can.
It's waiver time, baby.
What's his name? Landry is out there on the waiver wire.
Hell.
Grab him. Yeah.
But I have to drop either Wentz or Deshaun Jackson.
Honestly, I would drop either of those guys right now.
I would drop Deshaun. But that's the toughest thing, man, being a commissioner this year. Like, I hate not being a commissioner in a league because, like, I try to keep it fair. Like, you need extra bench spots, you need IR spots, and then, like, people are talking about, like, at the beginning of the week, if you know that your game's going to get screwed with COVID, that, like, you claim the player who's the alternate if the game gets canceled last minute. So let's say yeah, that's what I mean. I don't want to harp on fantasy too much, but Gail, if you want to, like, I don't think Deshaun Jackson's going to be consistent enough this year. We're like, yeah, I know, Trax, I'm trying to get off it, that you can probably drop him and pick up something for the week. I mean, having all those quarterbacks is kind of a problem too. So.
Yeah, dude, we're doing the same thing in my league as well. Just having alternate guys. This is unprecedented. These are, you just got to get creative as far as like, everybody's got to get creative this year. Fantasy owners, NFL teams, everybody. Yeah, penalty yards.
Yo, what do you guys got on the menu today?
What do I got on the menu?
What are you guys eating today, man? What do you got on the menu? What we got? Yeah, we got prep something. What do you got going on? I got some buffalo chicken going there.
I got a ton of leftovers in the fridge. I'm gonna go a little bit crazy once the game starts. I'm not sure about you guys. I'm a night owl, so, like, I'm always up late, and I tend to be eating late as well, which totally against me trying to lose weight right now. But I tend to not eat breakfast. I'm not really a breakfast eater.
I'm not a breakfast guy either.
Yeah, and breakfast food is decent. I know some people that, like, live and die by breakfast food. It's like, I could take it or leave
love
it.
Breakfast.
Jason Kelsey.
I could take it or leave it. But I end up
just give me a pork roll sandwich, man.
So pork roll and cheese. Quite frankly,
pork roll sandwich with some home fries, and I'm good. That's perfect.
Pork roll and cheese, in my opinion, is better than the pork roll, egg, and cheese. Sometimes less is more.
So when I make pork roll at my house, I cook about 4 slices and get toast, put it on toaster. A little bit of spicy mustard. Spicy mustard is key. That is the best. And then a couple slices of cheese, and that's all I need for a breakfast sandwich. I don't need egg. I don't need anything else, man.
At Americano?
Yeah, whatever cheese I can find, actually. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Gail, when's the last time you consumed some pork roll?
It's been a minute. If we could, if I could inject pork roll into my veins, I would.
Daz wants to know, would you guys start Golf or Big Ben?
I think Big Ben's going to get sacked a lot.
And the weather, the wind and the rain. I mean, Goff has a good matchup too. I think.
I think I would take Golf in that scenario. I think he does have a good matchup today.
Darius Slay get a pick today, offhand?
One more time.
Darius Slay's going to get a pick off end today, fellas? Anyone feel that?
Still waiting for that Darius Slay first pick. We should have some sort of pool about like Among Us and see everybody picks a game. You know what I mean? When Darius Slay's first.
Oh my god!
It's like a baby pool. Yeah, I'm gonna pick this date. The baby's born. Yep.
The whole chat seems to be saying Golf. I'm not sure if that's a product of people just not wanting to play a quarterback against the Eagles, or they really think that Golf is, the real deal. I got to be honest with you guys. Golf has really changed my mind as far as like what I thought about him when he got drafted right before Carson Wentz. Obviously, they're going to be compared to each other throughout their entire careers. I thought Goff was kind of trash his first couple seasons in the league. And he really, like when the Eagles played the Rams, I saw a lot of good things out of Goff. I think he's actually a pretty decent quarterback and is developing into, a good franchise QB out in LA.
I mean, he has so many weapons, man.
Yeah. Cooper Kupp has really emerged for him.
And Woods and Van Jefferson looks good as a rookie. And he has two really good tight ends.
We're familiar with that.
What were you saying, Puga?
No, I was going to say that it just takes the right situation for somebody to flourish, and I think that's kind of the case for what's going on with Goff. You give him the right – well, with any quarterback. We see it with Carson Wentz too. We can say it for Wentz also. You give him the right players and the right system, the right game plan, and he can flourish. We saw it again last week. It wasn't pretty, but he got it done. Played his best game last week with the best with what he had.
Yep.
So.
So talk about surprise players. Which player? We'll go around the room. Got people in the chat. Who's going to be the surprise player to break out today?
Surprise player.
We'll go defensively and offensively. So give me two. Give me your offensive player that's going to break out, and your defensive player who's going to shine through.
Mine is neither, to be honest with you. You know who's going to end up being the key to the Eagles today? It's going to be a ton of field goals, baby. Going to have Jake Elliott. Let me think about that.
W, man. I'll take that. It's a W. Yeah.
I think on offense, it's got to be Greg Ward. He's really the only consistent wide receiver that Carson's going to be able to lean on. All these other guys, we're still kind of testing the waters on them. John Hightower, I could see making some big plays. I mean, they went and looked at him on fourth down last week, and he came up with a big ball. So I think that the trust in John Hightower is beginning to grow. I actually just threw out a player prop. I took John Hightower scoring a touchdown today. Whether or not that's dumb money, I don't know, but we'll see. It was plus 700.
What'd you get on that?
It was plus 700. So I was like, throw $5 down on it.
Dad says Avery, and he's hoping Quake. Todd says Fulgham and White Snake.
Get out of here, White Snake.
Jeff says Singleton on D and Sanders in his hometown.
Are people getting a little bit moist? 6-6. I mean, I think Singleton was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that was the easiest interception I've ever seen in my life.
It was great play, great run to the end zone. It was a crucial part of the game. But let's be real, they threw it right to you. Like that would have been a bad play if you didn't.
Hey, yeah, I've seen Nigel Bradham drop those. So let's be real.
I'm trying to think. My offensive guy, as we were talking about him earlier, I mean, I could see him definitely being probably slowly brought into the offense, but I think it only takes one play for him. I think Quez Watkins could have a huge splash play today. I'm taking him on offense, and then defense, I'm picking Kayvon Wallace. I think that Kayvon Wallace looked really good last week in his limited snaps, and I think he's going to be that guy that's kind of lurking in the bushes, and Big Ben's not going to see him because he's going to be behind enemy lines, and he's going to make a big play, maybe a little safety blitz on the corner or something. But yeah, I'm going Quez, I'm going Kayvon, so both rookies.
Nice.
I like it.
Nice.
Everyone's touching on the wide receivers, and that's where I was going to go with was the wide receivers. But if you're telling me we have Jay Naw, Greg Ward, Hightower, Fulgham, and Watkins is all of our wide receivers today, just one of them. Just one of you guys do something today. Jay Naw, he better do something or he's bye-bye. I was listening to you guys earlier when I was driving back from the shore, and you guys were talking about JJ. This is the moment. If he wants to continue to be a Philadelphia Eagle, he needs to do something today. If he doesn't do anything today, he will not be a Philadelphia Eagle anymore. It's simple as that. So any one of those guys in the wide receiver core, just do something today. So I'm picking any of the wide receivers just because – are you freaking kidding me with this lineup? It is what it is. I understand, fellas, but – just look at the names and what's your first reaction when you see the names on the board. So
yeah,
And I'm going to continue to go with my man all day Slay Day. Loves himself some Darius Slay. And I love seeing that. What's he got? 64-inch vertical? Is that what he said he has? He wanted to show it off. He said some ridiculous comment. I wanted to show off when he jumped in the end zone on the Hail Mary last week. I wanted to show off that 64-inch jump I got. I was like, you can't jump 64 inches, dude. But hey, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with late in the game. I think Chris said it's gonna start raining. It's predicted to start raining earlier or later on in the game. And Miles Sanders, I'm surprised out of nowhere. Hopefully, I'm going with a couple of breakout runs, maybe 20 yards or so, and then on defense, I'm gonna go with Jalen Mills. I think he's due for one also, and hopefully he can get a pick for us. Interception, surprise.
Nice. I'm gonna go. I think. I don't know, man. I feel like
also bad right now.
I feel like Josh Sweat is gonna have himself a game today.
Sweaty.
He's been on fire, man. Ever since he's been in that rotation, he has just been he's had a party at the quarterback every week.
Yep. And he's giving Derek Barnett a run for his money.
You going big, Gale? You seen 2 sacks? You get 2 sacks today, Gale? Is that greedy?
Man, I feel like last time Big Ben had a real pass rush like the one he's about to see today. This is what we saw. We saw a lot of this. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, my neck and my back. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna go with this. He's a big star on this offense, and I think Miles Sanders is gonna have to step up in a real way. He's gonna be. There's something about playing in front of your hometown and your friends. His family members actually gonna be allowed in for this game, so I know he's excited. I think Sanders is gonna.
He's gonna be running with a different energy.
I just feel like he's gonna have a better game. He's been pretty consistent for us. I know he's been banged up a little bit. I don't know what this glute injury is. Really, what's wrong with the glutes? Like exactly what's wrong with the glutes? We don't want him to. We don't want him to pull anything, obviously. But I feel like he's in front of his hometown, dude. He's got to have a energetic feeling waking up this morning. Know he's playing in front of his family.
Yeah, that's a big factor. I could see him popping up. We're waiting for that big Miles Sanders breakout game so far this year. I could really go for a nice 150. That'd be nice.
He hasn't had a 100-yard game this year.
I'm hoping he has a game like he did last year against Buffalo. He just took over that game with that big run and called it a day after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be a beautiful
I think the weather is going to be a big factor in that. I think, obviously, if Doug is smart, I think I don't know about that. We talk about how, the Eagles tend to drift away from the run. I hope that isn't a move that happens when the rain starts to fall, because that is something I want to see. If it's starting to come down and it's getting sloppy out there, keep it simple, stupid. Just put the ball in Miles' hands. He's a great running back. Let him find holes. Let him find that groove and get some momentum going. Just keep marching your way down the field.
Yeah.
Last time they had a sloppy game.
Now that's when it
was an issue.
It gets cute. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
There you go.
The wind blew the soul out of me that day.
Yeah, dude, I was so surprised in Buffalo how where we were sitting in the end zone, it was all bleacher seating. It was like we were at a college game.
Yeah, I mean that game, it was freezing out there, and the wind was a factor. And Miles Sanders really just opened that game up. He took control of the fans in there. The fans he quieted all those fans down there. It got a little bit colder for them. I feel like if Miles can break off a run like that, it's crazy. Yeah. I'm gonna look at. I think
that run is when we really started being there.
Mm-hmm.
We started pointing at the people next to us. They were breaking our balls all game.
Yeah.
Cindy, big supporter. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you. Of course.
I'm gonna look at there was a run. I think it was when Penn State versus Pitt. Again, he exploded. I'm gonna see if I can find that. And he playing. I think it was at Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Couple months yourself, though.
You're saying they were playing at Heinz?
I'm thinking it was at.
Yeah, he was a backup. He was a backup Barkley, right then, and they smoked him.
He was
Beat
the
the Panthers pretty good.
But I'm saying, does Pittsburgh?
I got it. I'll send it.
They play at in Heinz Field.
Yeah, the Panthers, I believe, played Heinz Field. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Gil, I just sent it. I remember exactly what run you're talking about.
So do you guys think after, like, we've been trying the past few weeks, we've been trying to get Jalen Hurts involved in this offense, and we talked about how, like, he's only touched the ball, 7 times ish, and he's already got 2 fumbles in those opportunities. Do you think that we're starting, like, what trend do you think we're going to be seeing? More of Jalen Hurts, less of Jalen Hurts, about the same? What are you thinking?
I think his play time is probably going to be reduced as it already is if he continues to put the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point. I mean, to use him as what's the good of it if you're using him for a gadget play?
Yeah.
But then right off the bat he fumbles the football. Like what's the use of that?
Absolutely.
And then on top of that, let's say Carson Wentz gets in a groove. You have him going, and then Doug Peterson just decides, hey, let's use this gadget play with Hurts in there. Fumbles the ball completely. Demoralizes the momentum, and it's real frustrating to watch. But I don't think they should. I think they should use him less and just go with Carson more, 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Go back to Miles Sanders' run. This is the last time he was running in front of his home crowd. Look at this run.
Nope, there he is.
Starting from inside the end zone.
Yeah.
He gone.
Mm-hmm.
Take it to the house.
Yeah.
In front of his home fans there, dude.
There you go.
This is back in 2000.
Nothing like playing at home. Your home.
Yeah, I mean that's what you want out of like a start running back, like guys who can springboard. We just showed you a play in Buffalo where he breaks off a run like that. That changes the momentum of the game. He was doing it back against Pittsburgh. Pitt Panthers. Shout out to Avonte Maddox's old team. But I feel like again he's got to be the starter there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating that you get momentum on an offense, and then he goes in and tries some trickery with this, and it backfires, or he fumbles it. It's frustrating when you try to do that. Try to get cute. Like you got down the field doing something great, and then what the hell? Why? Why are you doing it, Doug?
I hate busting up the momentum like that, man. When Wentz is finding that groove, and then you take him out, or you're putting him at the top, at wide out to be doing like a nothing block, so that Jalen Hurts could potentially put the ball on the ground. I don't know. I just think it ruins the rhythm of the game. Mm-hmm. I personally like when the Eagles said when they drafted Hurts that they were going to try and do Taysom Hill on steroids, what the Saints are doing. I personally hated that, dude. Like, I fucking hate it. Like, I'm not a fan of Taysom Hill. I think that shit is super gimmicky. I don't think everyone's talking about how Taysom Hill's going to take over for Drew Brees. Let me tell you what, Saints fans, there's going to be a massive drop off.
That kind of works.
To you. Like, that's not going to be a smooth transition. Like, it's just no. He's not Drew Brees. Drew Brees is one of the greatest of all time, and you're going to be replacing him with a dude who he's a gadget player, dude. Like, he's not a good quarterback.
All right, well, we have Allison
on the front lines.
Allison, how are you?
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
So, how's the vibe going right now?
It's pretty empty.
Wow.
That.
Put on the screen by yourself. Yeah. Let's see that
wow.
field.
So how are they doing it? Like how many seats apart, or is everybody supposed to be sitting? What's going on?
Hurry on, hold on. Here's Renee.
Hey, Renee.
Hey, how are you, Renee?
Hey, Renee.
Tell Allison.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Put your phone a little bit closer to your mouth. I can't hear you.
The red sticker shows where people are sitting. So, like, if the chairs don't have a red sticker, they're going to be empty.
Okay.
So there's hardly any. There's 150 people in here right now. So we'll go back here.
Very nice.
So I won't stay on long, but we're just reporting live from the field.
Yes. Thank you for doing so. Are you staying at the team's hotel as well?
Yeah, we saw them all this morning.
Yes.
We went to go get coffee this morning, and we saw the buses. So they had breakfast. They came down. They waved. Jim Schwartz said hi. They were shocked we had tickets, and he hopes we're going to be in the stadium next week.
So how are you guys feeling? Are you feeling a good vibe about this
We're
game?
bringing home the win. We're definitely bringing winning.
There you go. That's what I like to hear.
There we go.
I'm telling them, no mercy. No mercy. Oh, sorry about that. All right, we got to go. We'll talk
All right.
to you later. Go Bird. Go Bird.
Go Bird. Thank you, Allie.
Yeah. Let me. Look at that. It's reduced capacity, and there's already Eagles fans taking over.
Yeah.
I didn't see one Pittsburgh Steelers fan in there.
You can't keep it out. There's no. If you're going to open up the stadiums, first things first, the Eagles fans are going to find the tickets.
It's crazy. With all the traveling that the Eagles fans do, and all the stadiums that I've been to, if the Eagles had a game on Mars, we would find a way to be there.
100%.
Sure.
Eagles fans.
What you doing down here?
They'd be in the F1 lot building a space shuttle. We're like, yeah, we're launching on Friday. We're gonna be
South Park episode.
I mean, Eagle fans, they'll either try to take it, they'll do whatever it takes to get there. If you guys need reserves and you're lacking players, Eagle fans will step up.
We're running out of guys out here. Yeah. We're on reserves, practice squad guys. I'm ready to roll if they need me. I'm 26 years old.
All ready to roll.
I played 2 years varsity. I'm in the best shape of my life. Let's go, Eagles!
Man.
Best shape of my life. 2 years varsity.
Yo. So when I was driving over the bridge and you guys were talking about ticket prices right now, I'm looking it up. There's 3 tickets available for the game right now. You got section 122 in the end zone for $175. You got 139 going for $200, and then you got 109 going for $205. So what did you say earlier? They were going for like $350. Right now it's 12 o'clock, hour before time.
How much is it?
So you can get in the stadium for $200 right now if you're out in Pittsburgh.
200?
You get an end zone seat for $175. Yeah, you can get a ticket for $200 now or under. There's a couple that are under $200 at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see any stadium that's opening up their doors. I could totally see them jacking prices up. I mean, you gotta. Yeah. That's what's gonna happen. Supply and demand. It's simple business.
Yeah, and and Trox is right. About.
I'm curious about the day after Miami.
The day after Miami. What do you mean?
The spike in cases.
No, like how it's going to be after them. They can max their stadium out now in Miami. They got approved.
Right.
So their next home game, I'm curious how that's going to happen after that, the aftermath of the first full stadium in Miami. I'm like,
can you imagine if Miami starts turning it on, and they're like, and you really start to see the effect of the crowd being there. Like Miami just goes on a 3-game winning streak. You're like, holy shit! Ever since they let the fans in the stadium, all of a sudden they could play.
Did you guys see
like Mad Max and the Thunderdome down there?
Did you guys see the coach from the Gators?
Now, what happened?
He was like
checking in from Turkey. Thank you.
Turkey.
Check this out.
Crowd was certainly a factor in the game. I will certainly say that. I know our governor passed that rule, so certainly, hopefully, the university administration decides to let us pack the Swamp for LSU next week. 100%, because that crowd was a major factor in the game.
Whoa.
So I certainly hope our university administration follows the governor. Our governor has passed a rule that we're allowed to pack the Swamp. We have 90,000 in the Swamp to give us that home field advantage. Crowd was certainly a factor in the game. I will certainly say that. I know our governor.
And then the reporter was like,
"They should pack the swamp with real gators."
Like, so let me get this straight. You want Florida to put 90,000 people in the stands? He's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I'm like, Brett, like, not what?
Yeah.
Like,
he said it with the conviction of like, yeah, like, did I stutter? Like, a pandemic going on.
Oh, look,
Florida's just doing their own thing, man.
Florida and Texas.
Look who's
another country, bro.
Hey,
Florida and
here,
Texas.
Who's here? Look who's here. Look who's here.
Time.
What? Here we go.
Wow. What's up, boys? How you doing?
What's on the menu? What's on the menu today?
Good.
What's going on?
So we're playing Pittsburgh, so a very big staple is a Primanti Brothers sandwich from Pittsburgh. So that's what I'll be making today. And I'm hungry. I'm excited.
Ooh.
Nice
Look at
piece
that bread.
Damn.
bread. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Are those pre-sliced, or did you cut that bread yourself? You going for the thick
Oh my
slice
God!
yourself?
Come on. I'm allowed to use a knife. I did it myself.
Very nice. Is that what kind of is that sourdough or what kind of bread?
Good call. We got an organic sourdough. I was a traditional, just white loaf, but they didn't have any, so this is delicious.
I am a big bread fan. I can identify a sourdough a mile away.
That's a good. Yeah, it smells. Here, if you smell it, you smell it. It smells really good.
That's sourdough. That's sourdough.
Yeah, you smell that sourdough.
Give me a plate of olive oil and I'll sit back for an hour.
So what are the ingredients we're working with there? We got the bread. What else we got there?
So the whole reason behind the sandwich is
Breezy in the chat.
Hey guys.
So,
Hey Breezy, are you hungry? Because Alex is about to cook up an amazing sandwich. They call him the Sandwich King, correct?
The Sandwich King.
Some do. Okay. So the reasoning behind the sandwich is the delivery drivers, they only had one hand. They wanted the fries, they wanted their sides easily in one handful. So Primanti Brothers back in the day, they're just like, why not throw it all on one sandwich? And obviously you see by the thick cut bread, it's gonna be a hefty sandwich. And that's how they did. That's how they started this whole thing back in the day in Pittsburgh. So this is my homage to Primanti Brothers.
Very nice.
There you go.
So we got some shaved ham, tomatoes, provolone cheese, a ton of fries.
What was that?
French fries. Yeah, just French fries. That's like what they throw on there. Normally,
I know what you're making. You're making that soggy, overrated sandwich they make in Pittsburgh.
Overrated.
It won't be overrated because I'm making it.
Exactly.
Exactly. That would be just right. And then they got some Napa cabbage, some red onion, mustard, salt, pepper, sugar. That's it right there.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh.
Nice.
So yeah, let's get started on this behemoth. I'm gonna take a, actually, we'll do that. Each side, just a little bit. Nice little smear.
How about them Eagles?
Remember how I said I'm not much of a breakfast guy? Like, this is the portion of the show that really gets to me, man. So I just start.
I'm sorry. And I feel bad once again. You will not be trying it, unfortunately.
Breezy, did you eat yet?
I did. I actually had a barbecue chicken quesadilla.
Now
hey,
she's flexing.
Damn, girl. Yeah.
Quesadillas for breakfast?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I love. You know what? Like I said earlier, Evan, I'm not much of a breakfast guy, but
yeah,
if I get a quesadilla for breakfast, I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Quesadilla is one of my go-tos, so I'm not complaining about the quesadilla at all. What? Yeah, you don't fuck with the quesadilla? That's
yeah. Then you guys ever had chicken parm for breakfast?
Chicken parm for breakfast?
Yes, I've been hungover before. And
Chicken parm for breakfast. Y'all ever have chicken parm for breakfast? Man, ooh, my man.
We both know. Everybody knows that Chinese food reigns supreme in the morning after you're hungover. Chinese food
or cold pizza. I go with cold pizza.
Cold pizza. Cold pizza.
That's a good one too.
Willie, man, Willie, you can't talk about pizza living down there. They don't make pizza down there, dog.
They make pizza down here, mate. They don't do cheesesteaks though.
Yeah, we had that pizza talk when you were up here. Like,
What we got stacked so far? We got mayo on the bread. We got the ham. We got the was that a slaw that you made?
Provolone. Then we got the slaw on top. Got tomatoes. Now our fistful of fries.
Nice.
Fistful of fries.
Juggernaut needs his own cooking segment on the tailgate shows, pregame shows.
What was that?
Sounds like
I said he needs his own cooking segment on the show every week.
You're on the show. This is the pregame show. He's cooking.
Yeah,
no, I know, but
thanks for coming, Boga.
Yeah,
very
his own show. He is on his own show. Okay, pal.
And here she is.
Nice.
There she is.
Wow.
See, right out the chute, I'm thinking you need to toast the bread. Like that's right out the chute. That's how I think. I don't know. Am I wrong?
I was going to do that. I was actually going to do a warm sandwich, a warm ham sandwich. But we might as well stick to what Pittsburgh think is right. That's what we're going to trick them with today.
Yeah,
that's what I think we're going to play with
That's
them
why they
today.
suck, man. That's why they suck.
They think they know what's coming with the fresh bread, without it being toasted. But in reality, they have no idea what's going to happen. Just like we have no idea.
Maybe Pittsburgh should try out a panini press. Push that bitch down a little bit. And look, how do you get your mouth around the thing?
We'll figure it out.
Like seriously, how do you eat that?
I don't know.
Wow.
Couldn't tell you.
Yo, that is a monster though, bro. That is very nice.
It's a thickum for sure.
That's huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is the homage. Hopefully this right here will be the icing on the cake today, the cherry on top.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine Fletch waiting for one of those in the locker room after a couple sacks.
Oh, I
Get
got
him
it.
a Monty sandwich.
I don't hope so. He could be probably done one or two of these bad boys for sure.
I will say honestly, I've been to a few cities in the country. Pittsburgh honestly has a very good food scene. When I went out to Pittsburgh, I did not have a single bad meal the entire time I was there. They have a city full of very good restaurants.
Yeah, they're getting trendy for sure.
Hey, Alex, can someone take a screenshot of Alex in the sandwich?
Yes, absolutely.
We got to add it to the collection, bro.
Yeah, do that.
But you got to be in the photo, though. You got to be in the photo, guy.
Like last week.
Big cheese. We need big cheese, man. Big old cheese. Like you just ate that bad boy.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Did someone take that?
I got it.
Cool.
Very nice. There you go.
Perfect.
Got a little echo going on there.
Yeah, so
that was my phone.
So how's everyone feeling? I know Breezy entered the chat. Vibes today about the game.
I feel good about this game. Just the momentum coming off of last week against the 49ers. I think that the defense is, they should continue doing what they did last week. We don't play Ben Roethlisberger that much. And the last time we played them, it was 34-3. So I'm hoping for a very, very similar game. Maybe not that much of a score disparity, but, I think the Eagles pull it out and win.
Okay. And how about you, Alex? I mean, you gave us some food. Now we need a game take here.
I'm going to say this again, just like last week. We need to keep them under 20. They score about 26 points a game against not very good teams. We're obviously struggling on the wide receiver end, but that could be our advantage because they're up. They want to prove themselves. I feeling positive. I feel like it'll be a close one, unfortunately, just because their defense is fast. Pretty fast. They have 3 of the top 4 pass rushers. They come in within like 2.5 seconds. So they got to play quick. Carson's just got to play smart. Find the open man. Even if you dump it every time, just don't get the sacks. Don't hurt him. Yeah, I know. I'm excited. I think we're actually going to win this thing.
Oh, okay. Breezy, you said they're going to win today too?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 20. What did I say on Twitter earlier? 26 or 27, 17, something like that.
Nice.
That sounds good.
I think Alex brings up a good point too. Just talking about how I don't really think that the Pittsburgh Steelers have gone up against a particularly good defense yet. I mean, you look at the Denver Broncos; they're missing Von Miller, and they went up against Houston, and who's 0-4 right now, and was under an awful coach in Bill O'Brien, who's finally out of there. And, they're in a transition period now. And then you also look at the New York Giants. So I really don't think that the Pittsburgh Steelers have faced a defensive opponent that is up to the Eagles' level at this point.
Not yet.
I think we really can expose them today and create some turnovers, especially once the game gets sloppy, once the weather gets bad.
Now, James and Abby Mason from Facebook says, what are the chances that Fulgham is more of a factor than J-Jaw?
I think that's a coin flip. I think that's a 50-50 chance.
No, Fulgham was more of a factor.
I think today that
has been all season.
Yep. What'd you say, Al?
Yep.
I mean, we saw it last week.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
I think he's one of the new people, one of the younger kids that could come in, and you don't know anything about him. You don't know anything about him. We have one game of footage. Carson has a little bit of chemistry with him now, hopefully, with, the 2 or 3 weeks he's with him. I mean, he's been with J-Jaw for how long now? A year and change? He's not playing for a reason. He needs to ride the bench. I've been saying that for a while now. It sucks because it's a second rounder, but just eat it. Look at Sidney Jones.
It's J-Naw. It's J-Naw. Until he does anything.
Yeah. Soon it's just gonna be no. It's just gonna be no. That's gonna be it soon.
Hey, coach, can I get out there? No.
Respect the no.
Yeah. No. Why would you put him out there? Absolutely not.
No.
Maybe put him at I don't know. I mean, find a position.
Water
maybe
boy or
throw him
something?
at tight end or something like that. Just
Water boy.
Where he could go in and block. I don't know.
Yeah.
Get him involved somehow. But
He can't even do
Speaking of water. Speaking of water boy, did you guys see the quote unquote water boy for the Florida Gators beat the athletic trainer in the 40-yard dash?
Oh, that was
this
great.
kid
Yeah.
smoked them, and all the players went nuts. Dude, that was awesome. Somebody said water boy, so I just
as he was running by,
that was
man.
a great video. He gave it a beast time, and he went by him. It's classic.
Yeah, it was great.
I love that type of stuff.
I'm going to bring that up for you because I'm just a good person.
You got it?
Pat, someone in the chat wants to hire Alex as a personal chef. Said the food looks great.
There you go.
Oh, snap.
Man, how do you show up to practice the next day after getting cooked by the water boy?
That's a strength. He's loud to begin with.
I mean,
yeah.
Let's look at the facts
coaching.
here, though. Waterboy's obviously hydrated. Not a guarantee.
You remember Red Lightning for FSU?
Red Lightning for FSU. No, who was that? I don't remember that.
He's a big ginger beard, almost like this, but not as good looking, obviously.
Yeah.
And, he would just sprint down every touchdown, just sprint as quick as the guys playing. It was super funny. You see it.
Yeah.
And that's your question. Hire me as your chef. Yes. Do it.
This is what it's about, man. It's about sharing what you guys are doing. Breezy, I know you have a awesome podcast. Tell us a little bit about your podcast.
It's called Sports and Stilettos. It's been going for a little over a year now, and just taking it 1 week at a time. I didn't think we were going to have a season, so during the summer was a little weird, but we have a season, and looking forward to maybe doing some playoff pods this year. So we'll see.
So do you actually rock the stilettos, or is this more of just a bait and
switch? Oh my God, no, I don't.
Bait and switching. Come on, people are
glad I'm not the only one that thought that immediately. Go ahead, just for the record.
No, I'd rather rock sneakers than stilettos. So
I feel that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're walking around on game day. Who the hell wants to be walking around a tailgate in stilettos? your feet are going to be hurt.
It's always about tailgate. So we're about 40 minutes from
we are.
The vibe right now is it's been a mixed bag. I feel like Eagle fans have been people have been concerned. I'm a little bit more confident than most fans right now. And it's not even like a home thing. It's a defensive line thing.
Yeah,
I really feel like that's the X factor right there. Like if we can get consistent pressure on Ben Roethlisberger, that's where the game takes a different turn.
Let me. So go ahead, finish your point.
Okay.
I was going to say, let's go around the room. I want to figure out what position group do you think the Eagles, like on both teams, which team position group do you really think excels today?
Defensive line.
Defensive line, yeah.
I'm going to go defensive
Especially if it's going to be wet.
Especially
if it's going to be wet.
On both teams? Do you think the defensive line is the key factor?
Yeah. Like I said, this game's going to be won in the trenches. Like, whichever defensive line comes out and just plays lights out, I think is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little concerned for Mailata. Like,
if you guys,
Mailata had a great game for his purposes, but now that they got some tape on him, maybe Mailata has to have another good game, to make Carson Wentz feel a little bit more comfortable. He's got to have a great game. So we'll see.
This is my boy.
People are tuning in as well. They're also they want to know about Sports and Stilettos. Is it on YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
Not on YouTube?
No, it's not on YouTube. No. It is. It's on Apple, iTunes, Google Pod, the whole shebang.
Yeah, Sports and Stilettos. Oh. That's the name of it. Anyone that wants to go check that out, highly recommended.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Everyone seems
Evan, I'm going with Carson Wentz, brother.
Carson? All right.
I'm going with Carson Wentz today.
I think
Carson Wentz is taking his game personal today. I don't think he's a big personal guy. I don't think he does that stuff to get his mindset on doing things. It's funny. You see the awkward videos of him trying high five and Jay? No, he was trying to high five, and it just looks so awkward at practice. Like that type of stuff I see, and it's like, oh man, he's really that much of a nerd. But then it's like, all right, maybe just whatever. But I think today is a personal day for him. I think he's going to go out there and try to outplay Ben every snap. He's going to pull something out of his hat today, I think, and the field goals might get it done and get the W. So I'm agreeing. Whoever brought that up earlier, we can go with that. So Carson Wentz and field goals, that's a W.
Absolutely. For those who are asking, here's the podcast. What's the Stilettos? Follow her. Give her a follow on Twitter. You're on IG as well?
Yes.
And you have your number one fan with you again today.
Oh, yeah.
How are you feeling about the game, young lady?
How do you feel? You think the Eagles are going to win?
Well, that's a no.
Oh, how can you say no? You got a Carson jersey.
I feel you.
Next time.
Oh, get out of here.
That's a real move.
She's obviously thinking about Jane right now.
They are winning.
She's thinking about JJ Arcega-Whiteside. That's what that is.
That's exactly
So Pittsburgh has they got Johnson back this week too, off of the concussion.
Yep. Deontay Johnson.
That's a key match. I feel like that's a key matchup right there. Deontay Johnson versus Jalen Mills. Because if you want to pick on Jalen Mills in the short game, slants and whatnot, you're hopefully he can hold that down. Deontay Johnson had a concussion last week, 2 weeks ago. So he's back from being injured. So we'll see.
Mark Bird says that Gary better play his ass off. Tired of seeing him get cooked. Do you guys think that this could potentially? We've been talking about. We want to see Bradley out there. Do you think this is like a do or die game for Gary? Like how bad can how long can we let this go out? He's playing like trash all season right now. Like if he doesn't show up today, are we willing to pull the trigger and just be like, all right, dude, you're not playing? And then he just ultimately ends up becoming a depth guy and moving down the depth chart. What do you guys think?
He should have been going at the beginning of the season.
Oh.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm not in favor of Nate Gary at all. I think he's trash. He gets cooked worse than anyone else, and it's not even like he gets beat on like double moves. Like he just gets beat with speed. He's too slow.
Yep.
He's way too slow.
Yep.
You can't be a linebacker and literally run slower than the slowest wide receiver on the other team. Like you can't do that.
Yep. Super slow and always out of position as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's how he gets beat.
Yep.
That's exactly how he gets beat. And he's in here looking left while the ball is going over his head to the right.
Oh,
and
he bites the cheese like none other. Like he bites on all of the yeah.
It's terrible. But I want him going yesterday.
It's hard to watch. He always has his numbers.
I'm sorry.
The complete opposite way.
Yep.
And, that's a problem.
The people are growing.
Position.
The people are growing increasingly more anxious to see Bradley out on the field.
Here's a comment in the chat that I'm very concerned about. John Woodson has never corporal.
Are you from the area, John?
John, reach out to somebody and talk.
University of Pittsburgh. Do they have pork roll out?
We'll probably have Taylor ham. They gotta have something out there.
Yeah, they gotta have something, I would think.
Come on now.
They got sliced spam.
Violation. I'm sorry, but it's a violation. You never had pork roll.
That hurts. That's like not having a cheesesteak, or something like that. Come on now.
Come on.
Thinly sliced spam does not count as pork roll.
Do you guys like your pork roll more thinly cut or thick? I like it a little more thick, to be honest with you.
Thin.
Thick.
Yeah.
I've got a confession. I've never had one.
Well, I mean, down in Australia, that's less of a violation. I don't. There's one thing.
Willie, what did you eat, man?
They eat Vegemite, bro, and
what
I can't.
Did you eat when you were here, brother?
No.
You don't eat Vegemite?
No, I don't eat Vegemite. No.
One time.
Meat pies and sausage rolls.
Oh my god, it's so bad. I don't understand how people like it.
Meat pies and sausage rolls. They're the shit.
Mid pies and sausage rolls?
Meat pies and sausage rolls. They serve them at Sixers games.
Yeah, the beef pie, right?
Yeah, meat pies. Yeah. That's I guess our food.
Mm-hmm. So what is that? Like a little?
Yeah, the second Ben Simmons is out of town. That's gone too.
Is that like a little pot pie kind of almost?
What's that?
What is it? Like a little pot pie? Like what?
It's about that big. And gravy, beef.
Like a shepherd's pie.
Okay.
Bit of tomato sauce on it.
I'm a big shepherd's pie fan.
Without, it's like a shepherd's pie, but without the potato on top. Yeah.
Have you ever tried kangaroo meat? People want to know.
Yes, I have.
What's it taste like?
What?
Just like meat. Like, you just chuck it on the barbecue like you would with a sausage. Because that's how because we buy them as barbecue, like, you buy them as like just normal sausages.
Okay.
And,
so it's like kangaroo
it's actually good for you. It's actually good for you. So.
Yes. I could see it being really lean. I mean, they're strong as hell.
Yeah. No, it's good for you. It's good. It's actually hard to buy. Like it used to be on the shelf at supermarkets quite a bit. But I'm starting to find it lately.
Is that like a more expensive meat down in Australia? Is that like harder to come by?
It's been hard to come by lately, but that's probably because I've been on the lookout for it more lately. I've just been like, I wouldn't mind kangaroo meat, and I just haven't been able to find it at all lately. So
I like trying different things like that. I tried. What was it? Do we have gator out in where were we?
Shout out to Jimmy just to enter the chat.
Jimmy! What's up, Jimmy?
Going on, guys? A little kangaroo talk, huh?
Yes.
Kangaroo talk.
Great down under.
I dig it.
I didn't think the chat was going to take it.
Hey, you were talking about the gator bites.
Yeah, gator bites. Hey, they
like it.
Yeah.
We have a full house in here, guys.
Yeah, we do.
Prime.
So,
Prime is in the building.
Prime without a mask on? Did you just see that?
What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
What's up, Prime?
What up?
So what's the vibes, gentlemen? With Jimmy and Prime, you guys just entered in. We're kind of when we came in. You know how when you're an Eagles fan, well, not when you're a football fan, a sports fan, you wake up, your team is playing that day, and you have a certain feeling when you wake up. What's the vibes as you opened your eyes today?
Jimmy, you want to go first?
Sure.
It's
My
12:30.
vibe.
I'm curious who's already injured for the day.
Yeah. My vibes were my phone apparently. I don't know how it switched time, but I woke up and I'm like taking my time. I'm like, what are these guys doing on at 8:30 in the morning? And I'm just doing my thing, dude. And all of a sudden my girlfriend comes. She's like, why are you still just laying here? I'm like, dude, it's like 8:30. Give me a break. And she's like, no, it's about like 10:30. So my day it brought me a little closer to the game, but yeah, made my morning very interesting today. So, but I'm feeling great, man. I'm pumped up. I think we're gonna get this win. We need Carson to protect the ball, and we need the defense to get after Big Ben. So let's go Birds.
You think we stick with the run? I mean, Chris was saying earlier that this game's supposed to get a little bit sloppy. It's 2:30. Are you afraid that Doug is going to lean away from the run, even though that the game's going to be rainy?
I hope that he can use the run game enough, open the run game up. It's something I've been talking about this week. You have to, whether or not they allow 54 yards per game, 2.7 yards per carry, doesn't matter. You have to run the ball anyway. You have to set up that screen game as well. Miles Sanders only having 2 catches last week. Unacceptable. Let's get him the ball any way we can. Boston Scott, Corey Clement, where you been? You're going to have to provide something. So, yeah, I'd love to see the run game get going, even though they're the top rushing defense.
Ron, how you feeling, man?
I actually woke up, sticking with the same vibe from last week's game. I'm really actually anxious to see the defense back on the field. The way they played last week, the defensive line. Just looking forward to seeing how many sacks we're going to go ahead and get on Ben today. I think I think the defense is going to go ahead and win today's game.
We need you to, if you were Whitesnake's dad, we need you to give him a speech. What would you tell Whitesnake before the game?
Look, son, stop making me look bad. All right, I put a lot of goddamn faith in you, and you're making me look real bad. All right, I'm taking a lot of shit from everybody out here, but I'm sticking with you. All right, I'm sticking with him. I'm sticking with him, man. I'm sticking with him.
Throw that kid in an orphanage.
That's all right. Hey, listen, I'm waiting for that one game. I'm waiting for that one game, and we'll see. But no, other than that, I know Breezy. She's not agreeing with me.
Breezy is full judge mode over there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
As Daz, he was on the IR, so it's going to be at least 3 weeks from when he was first out. That's a guy. Dallas Scott. It's a guy we're really missing, man. Like that. Yeah. He's a key part of this offense. And
hey, I know. I came in late. I want to see what's the chef got there in the kitchen.
Go right ahead,
Sorry.
Alex.
Nothing to the. Hold on.
Did you eat it yet?
I didn't eat it yet. No. Oh, there you go. You know, live view. There it is in the cut and the flush.
Jesus Lord.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Manthe Brothers.
That thing is serious, man.
I know.
Damn.
I know what I'm going to do with it.
Oof.
Hey, so next week we play Baltimore now.
Yep.
I heard there's crab cakes in Baltimore.
Oh, I need some crab cakes in my life. I know
my man.
Alex, do you have a crab cake recipe that you use?
Of course, I have a crab cake recipe I use.
Stupid question. Question by me.
Please, you should know this already. People are asking me to become their chef. Of course, I have the crab cake recipe. No, I do. It's really good. It's worked with this place, and I just made it a little bit better. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna attack this. This is my priority right now. So what to do with that?
Yeah.
Shout out to Puga. Puga like secretly changed outfits midstream. Put on the Brian Dawkins away jersey keeping specific with the Eagles being away. What's everyone rocking today? Is this everyone's game day attire?
Yeah, I'm going with the throwback today, as you can see.
There you go. There you go, Crime.
Yeah, people were
Kelly
on
Kelly Green action.
Kelly Green.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're sitting on Kelly Green. Let's see. Let's go around the room. Jimmy, we're rocking Wentz today.
Yes, I am. Usually I try to go with what they're wearing. I have done that forever. So this year I was doing that. And then last week I switched it up and wore the opposite color and we won. So this week, going with the opposite color again.
Sticking with the juju.
Yep. I know it.
Breezy, sticking that.
Playing Eagles shirt today.
Very nice shirt.
I'm right now. I'm like I did last week. I did a change after the show, so I'm changing back in the same thing that I had last week.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it, man.
As for me, well, guys, I got to do some laundry during halftime. So we're going with the OG 4th and John. That's what I've got on right now.
Represent.
I'm a minimalist, man, and I really don't believe in superstitions. So here I am.
All right.
Trots,
what do we got?
You guys already know what I got. You know,
He's got a hat.
got my Zumbas.
Oh yeah.
Nice leg.
Got my
action.
Zumba shorts on.
Yes.
Cindy says she's got the Kelly Green Cunningham. Real one alert. Timothy says he's got the black B-Dog jersey. Ty going with the white Carson jersey.
Love it.
Anthony going with Eagles hoodie.
I feel like I haven't changed since last week. I'm wearing Westbrook again with the bucket hat. It got us to the W. I can't change that up.
We got to keep it the same.
Out about it, man.
Not mad at you. Not mad at you at all.
Stick with what works.
Like,
Exactly.
keep it going. Make a nice sandwich. Just win. We're good.
That
Hey,
makes
Gail, is this
sense
the
right
most
there,
you've
Bob.
ever had on one street?
I hope you're doing that makeup the same as in your avatar. If you're wearing the Kevin Cobb today.
Oh man, dude.
Who's rocking a Kevin Cobb? Whoa.
off the top rope over here with the Kevin Cobb.
Damn.
All right, so then would you prefer to rock a Kevin?
Yeah, to be
Cobb
honest with you, I have one of them in my closet.
You got a
I have
Cobb?
one too.
You got Kevin Cobb.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, because
I have a I do.
was
There's
in
one
high
in one of
school,
my
there's stupid in
closets.
high
Yeah.
school, so I just
Take me back out.
Okay, we got a
Got
graphic out
that
of
black
him.
cock. On
Yeah, he's wearing black socks. It's, that's cool, dude.
It's the Pornhub special.
That's a cool jersey. Yeah.
Yeah, 20 minutes off the rails. Let's go, fellas.
No, for everyone that's watching the game, we will be back for the post game. A lot of fans have been up there in the chat. Usually spicier when they catch L's. I thought last week Eagle fans were feeling a certain type of way, getting a W, finally getting a W on the scoreboard. I feel like I'm putting good energy out there, so I'm hoping that the chat is easy breezy after the game. No pun intended. Easy breezy.
This guy.
Easy breezy.
She missed it.
She missed
Breezy.
She missed it.
That was a great transition.
What?
Easy breezy.
Yeah, I mean, the closer and closer we get, I'm feeling confident today. I'm feeling like today is the day we get the inaugural Darius Slay interception. Today's the day.
There you go. Yeah,
I'm gonna say that every week, and then I'll be right one time.
You say it every week, you get it eventually.
Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
Since we're getting closer to
Well, if you say it every week, hopefully it happens one of the weeks.
last words before we get out of here. We'll go around the room. We'll go with Puga.
Okay. I'm ready for this game. I think this is a game where they said another statement. They come down and just punch Big Ben in the mouth and get the job done. And I'm going with it's going to be a close one, defensive game. But like I said, for our surprise offensive player, I'm going to go with Miles Sanders with a big run at the end, puts Jake Elliott in field goal position, and Eagles win 19-17.
All right. Okay. Willie.
I'm feeling more confident this week than I was the first 3 weeks of the year, and that's probably because we're underdogs. I don't know why. It's probably the underdog thing. I'm going to go 23-17, so 3 field goals and 2 TDs. Booby to go over 100.
Very nice.
Yeah, Brian.
I'm just gonna stick with the Go Birds. I think again the defense wins today's game. I'm not really stuck on a score prediction. I just want to pull off a win. I just want to get back on the winning track, get that good feeling going. So that's where I'm at.
I agree with everybody. I think that it's going to be a big defensive game. I think we'll see a lot more from the wide receivers since Carson has a week to prepare with the same group that he had last week. With the addition of Quez Watkins, I hope we see a lot of him on the field. But I think this is the game that Carson really nails down that chemistry and timing with his wide receivers, and Eagles win 26-19.
There you go.
There you go, girl. There you go.
And let's see, Jimmy.
Yeah, sorry. You know how this thing loves to kick me off, so I apologize if it does it again. But I'm feeling it, baby. I'm feeling great. I think we get after the quarterback. I think we get those turnovers. I love the Darius Slay talk. Let's get it, baby. I'm feeling it as I talk about it. I could punch through a wall right now. This is a Pennsylvania matchup, man. They need to be getting pissed off right now in the locker room, getting each other pumped up. Let's get this W. Karen, baby. I can feel it in my lungs. Dude, I'm serious. I think we get this win today, and this starts our season where it needs to be going. Get people healthy, on the right track. Huge win today. I have us winning 26-23. So let's go, Birds.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up out of your sleep, wake up out of your sleep.
Hallelujah, brother. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Taking them to church. And then we'll go. It's hard to follow that, but Alex.
Yeah, defense needs to play. Our front seven needs to play well. Our line needs to hold up. Like I said, we need to get under 20. So let's go 2017 Birds. I like the interception call before Hollywood. That's pretty nice. So just like the interception. And hopefully Jerry could ride the bench with Jay Nah.
Yeah, buddy.
That's good happiness right there.
And enjoy that sandwich, my friend.
I don't know how I'll do it, but I'll try to do it my best. I'll do my best job, I promise.
Trucks. On a 30-second delay, truck.
36-28.
Whoa!
Damn.
Oh.
Damn. It probably is a delay. Sorry, fellas.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
36-28.
Yeah.
I love it.
36-28 Birds.
Birds.
Yeah, yeah. Dougie P's going to go for 2 on every touchdown today.
Yeah, bring them out, Doug. Bring that ball.
Going to make some of these no-name wide receivers good.
I got Jake Elliott on my
He's taking it personal today against Tomlin. Lance is taking it personal against Ben. Let's see what happens. He's like, I got nobody, but I can still beat you. Let's do this. So let's go. Let's keep the defensive line. I hope they. I'll say defensive line gets 3 sacks today. What do you think? You think that's too much?
No, I think that sounds right. They might even get.
That's about
more.
right.
Yeah.
We got some breaking news here, thanks to Jeremy. Mike K just tweeted that J. Jaw is starting.
Oh.
Yep. Next receiver. Here's your chance, buddy.
Y'all?
No.
Jano.
No.
Nah.
That's interesting. I don't know.
Let's go.
So, my final words. Listen. So Carson Wentz. Listen, pal. In the beginning of the game, I'm sick of these, first drive turnovers. We can't be having that. We need to start off hot. As far as the whole turnover battle, I think both sides are going to see turnovers today. I think today it's going to get a little bit ugly. I think it's going to be a total cage match. I predict it being very defensive, but I do predict the Eagles winning the turnover battle. My guess is 2 turnovers to 1, and hopefully that puts us in a good position. I see the game ending as it 14-14 right towards the end of the game, and then Jake Elliott ends up kicking a field goal with just enough to either as time is expiring or with the Steelers not having enough time to be able to get down the field.
Dude, for a minute there, I thought I had to grab you through.
Victory.
17-14. Wow. Prior to the show, I thought you were going a different way, but maybe you've come back.
I was ready to grab you by the neck through this damn screen.
I'm feeling like it's going to be a hard-fought win, but a win nonetheless, which I will take.
If I'm going to wrap up, I'm just feeling a certain way about the defensive line. After warming up last week, I think they have a perfect opportunity to follow up with a repeat performance. I think it's really coming down to the defensive line and how they can get after the quarterback. Hopefully, the back end, Darius Slay, maybe McLeod comes up with another pick. I think that'll be important. Getting a couple turnovers helped us out tremendously. Offense, as long as they do not turn over the ball and dink, dunk, and chunk plays, I'm good with that. Play action, Carson Wentz on the move. Boobie Miles, we need one breakaway play. If we get one breakaway play from Boobie to set us up for good field position or a big score, that would be great. And Doug Peterson, good Doug or bad Doug? We need to see good Doug. Good play calling will be very key in keeping Carson Wentz comfortable because at the end of the day, this defense is going to blitz him. And taking advantage of their aggressiveness, whether it be misdirection, maybe trying to run a successful screenplay would be nice. I know it's hard with the mobility of some of these linemen, but maybe a trick play. I'd like to see a trick play. People in the chat, Jeff says 23-20 birds. Todd said Hollywood needs to switch up like he did last week.
Well, I think what he's referring to is last week I predicted the Eagles were going to lose the game. So maybe my negative aura and me being wrong. Listen, man, if we win games by me eating my words, I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally good with that shit. If that's what it takes is me looking like an ass and predicting the Eagles lose and we end up winning, fucking sign me up, dude. I'll take one for the team.
Asshole.
Asshole.
With that being said, Eagles lose today.
So, just a reminder for everybody who we will be recording after the game. Post game pod will be up. If you want to be a part of the show, jump in the stream, and we'll bring you on the show. Want to thank everybody for the support. Everyone coming in, offering your words of wisdom, whether you're from Australia or Greece. Where else we saw people?
Turkey
up in here.
Turkey was in the house.
Turkey.
Some people from Delaware.
It's kind of like Portugal.
Colorado up in here. Puga, Texas?
Texas.
Sir.
Got South Carolina in the chat. We're
well represented.
We're global. We're global. Fourth and John's
Jimmy's from the Hills Have Eyes.
Yes.
People ask us how far.
There's a place called Forest Hill, and that's literally, we call it Forest Hill Has Eyes, because I'm telling you, I don't like to talk bad about people, but you guys just don't even understand where I live.
People ask what Fourth and John's reach is, and we just tend to tell them.
His name's Mr.
Out in the hill.
Mr. Unlimited.
It's unlimited. It's unlimited. Worldwide.
Is this you? Can you hear me? Yeah, there you go. I found the camera.
Yeah, man. I'm feeling good, man. We got 10 minutes of game time. I'm gonna try and get some food in before
Yes,
the game.
yes.
Alex has made us all hungry.
Yep. Starving over here.
So we'll see you guys soon. Go Birds, fly,
Go
Eagles,
Birds.
fly, and we will see you guys in the next one. And we are out.